What is good, Raider Nation? Welcome back to yet another episode of Raiders Friday Night Roundtable. We got a huge panel today for you guys. I'm joined by my friends, as always, Dustin, Cortez, Noah, Rudy, Ray, and Sergio. Say what's up, everybody.
Rudy.
What's
Salute
up, Raider
everybody. Happy
Nation?
Friday.
Blue Raider Nation, appreciate you all showing up. Mods, everybody in chat, everybody here, appreciate all you, man.
Yo, salute. Like Dustin said, thank you to everyone for showing up. As always, thank you to the members of this panel for showing up. Thank you to the mods in the chat for holding it down. We wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, as always. And last but not least, thank you to our viewers for commenting and watching along with us as we begin our broadcast. We got another great one for you guys, as always. Just a quick reminder before we get started. Momentarily, we will be posting links to all of our platforms in the comments section. So if you don't already know where to locate all four of our platforms, we will be providing URLs for you guys to click on and go check out. In particular, the four platforms that we're going to be posting for you guys is going to be our YouTube channel, the Death Star Report YouTube channel. If you could subscribe to that, like this video, comment on this video, and subscribe to our channel, that would be greatly appreciated. Our second platform is going to be our Instagram, Death Star Report on Instagram. If you could follow us there and throw us some likes, that would be greatly appreciated. Third is going to be our Twitch channel, the Death Star Report's Twitch channel, which we're also currently broadcasting to. If you could just follow us on there as well, that would be great. And last but not least, we're going to be giving you guys our Discord link. And so if you guys could check that out and join our Discord, that would be awesome too. Our Death Star Report Discord, it's a great community. We have a whole bunch of stuff going on in there. We have the Raiders chat. We just have an everyday, general chat where we talk about everyday life. We talk about the NFL at large. We talk about other sports like the MLB and the NBA. We have fantasy leagues, both NFL and NBA. Sometimes we have movie nights. We'll have free giveaways. We have links to all different kinds of YouTube channels that are Raider related. We got a whole bunch of great stuff going on in our Discord. So like I said, it's a great community. We'd love for you guys to join us. We consider it sort of the heart of what we do, and sort of everything that we have, all kinds of links and channels and platforms and whatnot, are all sort of connected by the Discord. So if you join us there, that'd be greatly appreciated as well. So like I said, if you could check out our YouTube channel, our Instagram, our Twitch, and last but certainly not least, our Discord, as we will be posting the links to them in the comment section momentarily for you guys to check out. If you could check out all four of those platforms, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Hell yeah, and we're also going to be having an NFL draft party too on the 27th to the 29th inside there too, so we'll be live streaming the draft and the VC and everything, so everybody can meet up in there, chat, talk, and see the draft live. So like I say, man, everybody should join up in the Discord. It's a great place to be. A lot of information, dude. A lot of things go on inside there. A lot of chatting. Like you said, there's a lot inside there. So it's not like a lot of other people's. You'd be surprised. Go give it a chance. There's no trolling, no shit like that. It's real football talk. And again, like I said, we'll be doing the draft party in there too. So we'd like to see everybody in there that wants to, watch it and see it with us. So appreciate all you guys to join in there and see it.
Yes, exactly.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah. So as Dustin said, we're going to be having a draft party for the NFL draft inside our Discord. So once again, that's another reason to join our Discord. So obviously it's going to be at the end of this upcoming April. So we're all going to be in there. We're all going to be talking about the draft as it happens. So if you guys would like to join us for that, that would be great. Greatly appreciated as well. We'd love to have you guys. We will keep you posted as far as details to that go. But obviously, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dustin, but you have to be a member of the Discord to participate in it, right? It's going to be taking place inside the Discord.
Yep, you got to be in the Discord to be able to watch it and see it. So you got to come in there and go. And then we might do we've been thinking about doing a giveaway inside there during the draft for the first day. Maybe figuring out some type of way of doing like a draft board for either trading up, trading back, who we're picking at 7, just something for fun. Maybe like $25 gift card, $50 gift card, but something of that factor. But like I say, man, we always try to do things to get back out there and be able to interact with people. So we want it to be a good time, man. So like I say, join the Discord. Cortez will put it out there here in a little bit when he gets a chance. He's had a lot of things going on lately, which he'll speak on here in a little bit. But outside of that, like I say, man, go join the Discord. It's a great place, dude. So
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So as Justin said, that's even more of a reason to join our Discord because we're going to be having that great draft party. So we'd love to have you guys in there for that, as well as in general to be a part of our great community there. So yeah, and so on top of that, we're going to be having a free giveaway as well. So once again, another great reason to join our community there as well. So like I said,
salute, Cole.
yeah, salute to everyone for coming who are coming in just now. We're about to kick off the show, but like I said, we're just giving a reminder of our NFL draft party is going to be taking place inside our Discord, as well as a free giveaway will be taking place. A free giveaway event will be taking place during the draft party as part of our Discord. So, like I said, we will keep you posted on the details. But as far as you guys are concerned, the biggest part is for you guys to join our Discord, and we will be posting the link momentarily in the comment section. Um, so with all that great news out of the way and all those reminders out of the way, like I said, thank you in advance to all you guys for tapping in to all of our platforms. Thank you in advance for doing that because it helps us out tremendously. But without further ado, let's just get started on the show and then our first topic. So, obviously, as the thumbnail of the video today or the live show indicates, there's now a lot of buzz around Anthony Richardson, quarterback prospect out of the University of Florida. Just yesterday, he turned in an incredible pro day where he showed his tremendous physical skills, including being able to hit the ceiling of the dome in which he was throwing, which shows, if nothing else, his tremendous arm strength. And obviously, when you take that into account, along with the fact that he showed off a great amount of physical ability and tools and whatnot at the NFL Combine just a couple weeks ago. Um, it's become pretty clear, I think, throughout the NFL that this is a guy who has a tremendous amount of athleticism and therefore could have a whole bunch of potential when it comes to being on an NFL football field. And as far as it pertains to the Raiders, who have been rumored even since signing Jimmy Garoppolo. Um, they're a team that have been rumored to still be in play, certainly for a rookie quarterback to perhaps take over the reins of the team at a certain point following Jimmy Garoppolo. So, with that in mind, the question now becomes, especially for the Raiders, as well as other teams, um, is the pro day along with the combine itself, is that enough to prioritize him as opposed to another rookie quarterback or as opposed to a prospect at another position such as defensive tackle or cornerback, two positions of need that we've also talked about. And so basically that's probably the big question surrounding Raider Nation right now and the most pertinent topic that we want to kick off the show with. So why don't we just go around the panel? Noah, why don't we start with you and your 2 cents, what your thoughts are on, first of all, in general, if you believe the Raiders should prioritize Anthony Richardson, and in particular, if you think the pro day performance that he turned in is enough to really, is it enough for the Raiders to think that they really should prioritize him, whether that's through trading up to a pick or if he does fall to number 7, where the Raiders could just draft him naturally on their own. Is he their guy? What do you think?
Oh, well, we obviously know what Ziegler's thoughts is on Anthony Richardson. He loves him as an athlete and as a possible QB of the future. And the same goes for Josh McDaniels. But considering that we have signed Jimmy Garoppolo to essentially a 2-year deal with a 1-year extension, I don't see quarterback necessarily as an absolute need right now when you have other positions that do require some more attention, like corner. This doesn't take away from the fact that I'm not opposed to the Raiders trading up to get Anthony Richardson, whether it be at the 3rd spot or
Mm-hmm.
some magical deal with a 3rd team if Indianapolis decides to move up. But I don't think that his pro day has taken or has negatively impacted his draft stock at all. I think it's actually risen his stock to the point where he's probably a top 3, top 4 pick. So if we were to trade up, it would probably be for Anthony Richardson. And considering the fact that it's become increasingly more common for members of the Raiders media and Raiders fans to have the Raiders moving up to number 3 in a trade with Arizona in order to get Richardson, I don't see it as impossible.
Right. So do you think that they should or that they will prioritize him, or do you think that he's still just merely on the draft board? What would your prediction be?
I think he's, like I said, the quarterback isn't the main issue of this team right now. It is an issue in terms of the future, but like I said, there are other concerns. So,
Right.
I wouldn't see us trading up for Anthony Richardson unless this front office is really thinks it is the guy, or he is the guy, or they are actually looking at someone on the defensive side of the ball to come help us out. So, I don't know, to be honest with you. I do think that Richardson will cause maybe like a discussion to be held inside the front office before the draft, and then at that point they'll decide whether to trade up for him or they'll just hang back at 7 or trade down to get a different player. But what else is there to say? If he's drafted by his team, I don't think anyone's gonna be opposed by it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it definitely does. I would say it definitely does really bring him into the circle of conversation as far as or really bring him into consideration as far as something that this team should very well at least take a look at. I mean, obviously, the pure athleticism of this kid cannot be questioned. Um, but as we've seen it, and I believe our friend AJ just made the comment in the comment section right now. There are going to be Jamarcus Russell comparisons, especially if he gets drafted by this team or if he's being seriously considered by this team. And to your point, AJ, about Anthony Richardson has work ethic, whereas Jamarcus Russell does not. Well, we actually don't know that because, as we all know, with Jamarcus Russell, he saw the $30 million guaranteed from his rookie contract. And after that, he said, I don't have to try anymore. So it could very well be that whenever Anthony or wherever Anthony Richardson goes, once he sees the guaranteed money, he may not exactly turn out to be the stud that we all thought he was based on his pro day. Because as we all know, the pro day isn't everything, and neither is the combine for that matter. There are so many different things, especially when evaluating arguably the most important position on the field, which is your quarterback. That like I said, I don't believe the pro day is everything, but definitely, you could make the argument that this guy really could be a star in the league purely based on what appears to be untapped potential. And with the right coach and the right system and the right mindset at the right time, he really could be a problem and a headache for a lot of opposing offenses. Rudy, why don't you go ahead and give us your 2 cents on the matter as far as how you think the Raiders might be prioritizing Anthony Richardson, or if they're prioritizing him at all?
Logically, I do think quarterback is the biggest issue because it's the most important. And I know you got Jimmy Garoppolo, but the problem with Jimmy Garoppolo is he's very brittle, And what happens when he gets hurt? This is a rebuild, so they could go for a corner and get a quarterback later, or go next year and get a quarterback. But I think that you got to look at more than just the upside. You got to see his skills because you don't want another Jamarcus Russell.
Right.
Because, if he has the skills and the high IQ, that's the guy you want to take. You want to get a quarterback who's got more skill than the upside and talent of arm strength and accuracy. The skill where he can learn the book really fast. I know Jamarcus Russell was a great talent, but man, he was lazy. He had no skills at all. Right. But I don't think this guy will be another Jamarcus Russell. But I don't see us getting a quarterback I think it would be a smart move to get that quarterback, but I don't think we're going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a number of ways in which this team could go as far as approaching the draft. I personally would say immediately, you look at this roster, especially their quarterback depth right now or lack thereof. With what we know, what we have to admit is the injury concern with Jimmy Garoppolo. What's the contingency plan, right? I mean, Chase Garbers is, I believe, the only other quarterback under contract right now. So if you're going to make the move from Jimmy Garoppolo to Chase Garbers, I personally right now I'm not comfortable with that. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I would think that in the very least, because of that, their two options right now are, well, three, I guess, maybe. One option obviously would be to draft one of these rookies, Anthony Richardson potentially being one of them. Option two would be to trade for a veteran, and option three would be to sign a veteran free agency. So with that said, I mean, like I said, you're not exactly looking for a marquee quarterback, especially out of the gate, because Jimmy G is almost certain to be your starter, at least to begin the season. I would think that there's a need at least between Chase Garbers and Jimmy Garoppolo. So somebody in the middle, and that could be a rookie very well. So we're gonna have to see how it plays out. But like I said, because of those options, as far as adding another quarterback to this roster, that's definitely, I think it's definitely something that they're considering. I will also say that this past year, the Raiders rolled with two quarterbacks, and I personally do not like that. I don't think that as far as like active guys that are dressing 4 games, only having 2 guys, I think that's still a little too risky. That's something that this team has done. And obviously Carr, who played the bulk of the season, was durable enough, and then of course Stidham for the final 2 games. Both were durable enough to not have to worry about a third string option. So that could all very well work out. But like I said, I just think that beefing up the depth at quarterback is something that this team does need to prioritize because of, like I said, the issues of a potential contingency plan should somebody get injured. Ray, do you want to give is there anything you wanted to add or comment on as far as Anthony Richardson and the whole quarterback situation as it stands right now?
Ray ain't here.
It's not here? Okay. Sergio, what about you? Do you have anything you wanted to add?
I mean, it was kind of interesting how interested Ziegler was in this quarterback.
Right.
Especially being the first GM, like the first non-player to interact with him, especially on Pro Day. I mean, the closer we are to this draft, I'm like not trusting a lot of what media says or what media talks a lot, because at this point, like I'm just like in my mind, I'm thinking you can't be interested in the guy now. Like, especially during Pro Day, like now all of a sudden, like you can't be interested in someone now. Like to me, like especially with Ziegler on how he's working, I'm more interested in the players that have been like kind of called out midway through the end of our season or right when our off season was starting. Like more than like out of nowhere, now we're fully interested in Richardson. Like to me, it's kind of, I feel like it's more like I say a lot how Ziegler works. Like he dips his toes in the water, but he's not gonna like jump head first to see what this is. So I think to me, he was like, obviously he's interested because Richardson is like an athletic freak of this generation. But I think he just wanted to like take a peek on what he could do, and him and McDaniels are probably like maybe discussing how he could fit in the system, maybe discussing. To me, it's kind of just all like a maybe and a speculation.
He said it. He said himself. He said, just because we went to Florida doesn't mean that we just went there to see Richardson. He said there's multiple other players. We are not taking Richardson. It'd be a fucking fat ass F, dude. If you trade the 3 or 6, 7, it's a fat F, dude. Like, you ain't that. It's the worst pick you can get. You guys sit and say like, oh, what if Jimmy gets fucking hurt? You think he's gonna start? You think that motherfucker gonna come and start, right? You fucking guys are. That's why I think Raider fans are just fucking crazy. That fucking guy ain't starting. He's not a starting quarterback. He's not even close to being starting quarterback. His scouting report clearly states raw talent needs to be developed a year or two. So to think that if Jimmy got hurt, this guy, come up and off the bench. You know who coming off the bench? It's going to be Chase fucking Garbers. He knows the system. He's already been there a year. He has way more familiarity, dude. Like, it's 100% going to be him off the bench. It's not going to be fucking Anthony Richards. So it'd be a fat F. It'd be a fat F. You know what be smarter is to go draft your fucking corner, defensive player, whoever the fucking defensive player may be, because again, Richardson's value is not higher than fucking Wilson, Murphy, fucking Anderson. Fuck, he's not even in close. He motherfucker got 17 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, talking about this motherfucker gonna trade to the third. That'd be fucking fell. Like,
another thing
you'd have a better chance to trade back up in the second round from 7. You'd have a better chance to trade from 7 in the second round back into the first, and then take fucking Hendon Hooker. Fuck, he's better. He'll start if Jimmy got hurt, which you guys keep saying, he would start. He can start. Motherfucker got starting capability. The only reason he even falls is because of his injury. Motherfucker can start. There's no disputing that. There's nobody going to say Anthony Richards starting shit. Like, nobody. There's not any guy out there because he's not a starter. Motherfucker ain't fucking third pick. Oh, you're going to start. Bullshit.
Another thing to know is I think it was specifically SEC quarterbacks, not all college quarterbacks. Out of all of those quarterbacks, when it comes to short passing or passes that are in between 10 to 30 yards, Richardson is dead last in accuracy. Right. So he is worse in accuracy.
It'd be. Listen, I was thinking about this earlier when we were talking about making this deal. All right, so I was sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, it would just be the biggest fail in our history, period, because this would be a Raider fucking move. Like, this is what Al would do. He'd be like, oh, look at this player. Look at the way he is. Look at the capability. We would get that motherfucker. And then going to be Jamarcus Russell. Al's going to be like, fuck that. I paid him the money. He's playing. You know, we go right down that road. Like, Malik Hooker in the fucking second round, or even trading back into the first. Like, who gives a fuck if you don't have a second, if you just got the 25th or the 30th, you know, as long as you can get that player. Like, that's how I'm viewing Richardson to begin with, dude. Like, I think people are talking on him, but I think it's more of a smokescreen for damn sure. It has to be. There's no way. Like, if you want to dispute Richardson with Levis, great, go ahead. I don't really give a fuck because they're both same damn type player, in all honest to God. So, you know, you can say this guy's one little bit better or not, but they're really compared to the same. Bryce and fucking CJ are not. They're in a whole different fucking category, dude. So if we're trading to 3, there's got to be something saying that either Bryce or Stroud is going to be there at 3. Otherwise, I don't see. Or if they feel like they want Will Anderson, I guess. I mean, if they feel that high on Will Anderson, I can see going to 3. But I just can't. Listen, man, I'm a fucking realist in football, dude. I scout these fucking dudes. I watch their video, dude. Have I not been saying the whole time, how'd the fucking guy get better in the offseason? I said this the whole time. The second they brought this motherfucker up in the first IG post, first talk in the deal, first deal that, oh, he's over there. Listen, we're in the draft week, or in the draft month, dude. We're going to see a lot of fucking teams, dude. We're going to meet with a lot of fucking coaches or players. all over the place. Like even like Cortez even made a valid point a long time ago when we were talking about one night about maybe Ziegler and them are meeting with some of these just so they can understand their tendencies, what they would do in certain situations when we face them, like asking them what they would do if they seen this, you know, like there's nothing wrong with fucking going and talking and scouting your competition, dude. But if we draft fucking Anthony Richards at 7, 3, 10, 12, like that's a massive fail for the Raiders. Like that's a massive fail. Like it's a fat F, dude. Like there's DNs, D tackles, fucking cornerbacks. There are dudes that are way proven, that are proven players. So you better fire Ziegler. Like Ziegler ain't that fucking dumb, dude. Like I can see, like I said, I can picture like listen, if fucking Seahawks or something because they have their shit going their way, whatever. I don't fucking care about that because they have a lot of ways to move there. But like I can see him being like Lamar kind of deal where someone traded out of the second at the from the second round at the end of the round, got back up there in the 31st or 32nd, and then take the quarterback like that. But even if I did that, I would still take Hendon Hooker over fucking Anthony Richards if they were both on the board right there. I would take Hendon Hooker 100%, dude. Not even a doubt in my mind, because if Hendon Hooker doesn't get injured, he's considered with Stroud and fucking Bryce. Richardson was never considered with them. Never. Not ever. Not in any conversation at any point of year, at any point in time. The only time this motherfucker became irrelevant in talk was after the season was over. And then people talking, how do you even play him in category? Dude got 41 and 6, touchdown, the interception. This fool got 17 and 9. Like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. No, that massive F, man. Like, I'm going to say it right now. Like, if Richardson's in like the fucking second, third, and you think out of one of those 2 third picks that you got, you want to grab him, great. I would have no fucking issue, but I think massive F, especially for us, dude, because he don't help us right now. Not even if Jimmy gets hurt. Even if Jimmy gets hurt, he does not help us. That fucking guy is not starting. He's not playing. He's going to get his ass beat, dude. Like, then you're going to destroy him. We'll have a Trey Lance fucking situation over here where fucking dude's all fucked up, don't want to fucking play him. When he gets on the field, he can't fucking play. Like, nuh-uh. Hell no. Nuh-uh. I'd rather wait second round, get fucking, or trade back in late and get Hooker. I think Hooker's the guy. Like, that's the dude, I think. I really believe it because he's 24, I think. Isn't he 24?
Who?
23? Hendon Hooker, 24 years old?
Yeah, I think he's a little bit older.
I think he's 24, but he's a really smart dude. Got really great arm, got really good. Like, he's really good, man. So for me, that's how I think you got to go. I mean, if Raider Nation thinks grabbing him at the 7, that's you're fucking smoking meth, dude. Like, don't even be doing draft boards because that is not, dude. Like I said, Gonzalez, dude. Like, that's the round we most definitely need to go is Gonzalez. But I mean, like I said, that's my opinion. That's my evaluation. Ziegler and them may evaluate it differently. I'm not telling them, but there's no way Ziegler's even considering it. It would be massive F. There's no way. There's no fucking way, dude. Like, his accuracy is off massively, dude. He gets under pressure, dude. He gets off. Can he run and shit? Yeah, fuck yeah, he can. Lamar hurt fucking 2 years in a row, not even making playoffs or anything. Like, just because the guy can run doesn't mean he's a good fucking quarterback. Like, you don't want a Lamar type quarterback, dude. Like, you want a quarterback that got running skill but can throw first. Like, that's what you want. You want a throwing quarterback that can run. Like, you do not want a guy that's like, oh, football don't take off. Fucking hell no. He's gonna do that, dude. Like, he's gonna overthrow the fuck out of players, dude. Like, he's gonna overthrow them massively. No. I don't think that even should be considered. I get it that people may like him. I get it that people may say the tangent good. There's a lot of fucking dudes that's been this way, and there's a lot of guys. Malik Willis been just talked about this. These fuckers are talking about trading up to the number 3 pick now with the fucking Cardinals. If that motherfucker was so good, Malik Willis, that was just talked about, just like this motherfucker 1 year ago, that he got some wins. That fool was like 11-1 at least in his fucking deal. He fucking and he got touchdowns and rushing. Like hell no. I just can't see it, man. I can't see it. I think I cannot see it. Like I'm saying, like people talk about these type of players all the time, dude. They don't fucking pan out. Like they don't pan out, man. Arizona got Josh Rosen, and then the very next year they went and got Kyler Murray. You know, like fucking no, hell no. I don't know. No. I would feel 100 more. I would feel like 100% more comfortable with Hooker. 100. Like, what's that other guy? Fucking DS or DRS or D fucking, what the hell is that guy?
Robinson.
What is it? DTF?
Dorian Thompson Robinson.
DTR. Yeah, fucking, I would rather take him. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm not understanding is like, is Richardson good? Yes, but way overhyped, man. I mean, go watch the video. Go watch the combine. Go watch the pro day. That should be an example. Like, yeah, can a guy show up and be a little bit better? Yes, but you're not looking at that. You're looking at most fucking plays in the NFL are slant and drags, dude. Fucking 5 and 10 yard plays. This fucker overthrows a dude by a mile or throws it in the ground. Like, why does he do that? Why can't he hit a guy that's fucking 10 yards out and smooth stride? This fucking spikes the ball. Like, he fucking spikes the ball on the ground, like, fuck out the dude's toe. Like, that's a physical problem with the player. Like, that's not fucking, you don't fucking spike the ball on that dude. Like, nah, fuck no. Like, that shit matters, dude, and especially in our system. So you know what it tells me is that guy right there instantly ain't going to have confidence into dumping off that 5 and 10 yard route to Devontae so he can go get it. He's going to run. He's going to fucking run. He's going to run, and then if he can't get through the line, he's going to get sacked in the backfield. And then once he starts doing that over and over, player confidence is out. He's done. He's destroyed. So, like I said, man, I love the fact of how people look at him. The reality of it is fuck no. Hooker's the better pick, dude. Like, not even a question. Like, listen, if the Raiders picked Hooker at 7, I would feel 100% more comfortable than fucking picking Anthony Richards. Like, 1,000%. Like, that's facts. So, I'd rather pick Hooker at 7. Like, I don't give a fuck. I would not even consider Richardson, dude, for me. So, I'll just be facts. I think it's a good talking point, but fat ass if we got him.
I think that concludes the topic.
Yeah, fuck that topic. Because I think, like I said, you guys' top focal point is if Jimmy gets injured. That's what your focal point is. Like, that should be the end of the conversation to even start. Like, fucking guy is raw as fuck. Hasn't even got like I said, he's raw as fuck. You didn't even see him field for a year or two. So, no.
All right, I guess we're gonna drop it despite some very valid concerns. Okay, so I guess our next topic.
I don't know you drop it. Shit, you can talk about whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a fuck.
It's fine. It's much better we move to the topics. So I guess our next topic is going to be Noah. So Noah, this is going to be your topic. So basically, a report has surfaced regarding Jalen Carter, especially as it pertains to the Raiders, that he is now off their draft board, despite Josh McDaniels disputing that and claiming that that's not necessarily true. But I just wanted to bring this topic up, and you can get us started on it. As far as what you think the situation really is right now. Do you believe that Jalen Carter truly is not being considered by the Raiders anymore? Do you believe that he still could be potentially a revolutionary talent and player for us at this point? What do you think? What do you think the situation?
Yeah, so yesterday, Vic Tafur of The Athletic put out an article describing the Raiders and Mark Davis's 10 biggest takeaways from the NFL's owner meetings that happened over the past week. And one of the segments involved Ziegler and, the Raiders' connection with Jalen Carter not being a good match, considering what he called best talent available in the segment.
Mm-hmm.
And in the segment, he goes on to describe that the best player approach isn't applicable to Carter because of his off-field issues, which we know is like basically stemming all from the car accident that happened in January where his teammate and trainer got killed. And then he wrote, McDaniel said the Raiders will do their homework on Georgia defensive tackle Jalen Carter, as one of the top 2 or 3 players in the draft will almost assuredly slide after he pleaded no contest to 2 misdemeanor charges of racing reckless driving. But Carter is not an option for the Raiders at number 7, having already been crossed off by the team, according to a league source. Now, obviously, this has been called out as bullshit by Vinny Bonsignor, and Raiders insider. So this report leaves much to the speculation of plenty. In Vinny's tweet denying the what the article was saying, he mentioned that the Raiders had scheduled meetings for Carter before the draft in April. So obviously the report came false, but it is an interesting talking point because Victor basically his reasoning behind why the Raiders shouldn't draft Carter it results from the incident with Henry Ruggs that he killed a player from speeding in the early hours in the morning, obviously, and that the incidents are too similar and it might stir up the Raider Nation and specifically the Las Vegas community. And obviously, there's he's probably not the first option that many people think of when considering what players the Raiders are going to take off the board, mainly because there's, obvious reasoning considering that there's other teams that would take Carter with a heartbeat. So with that being said, personally, I don't think that Vinny's logic for why we shouldn't draft Carter is sound, because the Ruggs incident appeared to be a one-time thing that was out of character from him that resulted from him being drunk, obviously. This might be the same situation with Jalen Carter. Obviously, it came out in the previous off season of college football and the summer that Carter reportedly had some character issues, but nothing appeared to be out of sorts at Alabama during the season, and no complaints from Nick Saban or all over their coaching staff. So considering that this may be just another one-time thing, and considering that he's already being punished for it before he gets into the league, I highly doubt that this is a reason for concern, considering the likelihood that he does something like this again or commits some sort of detrimental crime that would put his playing career at risk. As for how it would affect the fan base, I'm pretty sure people are willing to overlook this. And it's not just because this happened in Georgia instead of Las Vegas, but because that, he didn't directly cause the accident as opposed to Ruggs. So, I don't think that reasoning should be valid when addressing why Carter wouldn't be a Raider or should not be a Raider. So, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Do you agree with Victor Furr? Do you think his reasoning is BS? What do you guys think?
Well, first of all, I would say if you were to write a book on how to tank your draft value despite being a premier prospect in the draft, you would use Jalen Carter as your main example. He has done so many things recently to muddy the waters as far as being drafted as highly as possible. To me, that I think that this team with a high pick, with obviously a top 10 pick to start off the draft, there's too much at stake, especially coming off an unsuccessful year, especially given this team's need to rewrite the narrative or the history as far as drafting well, especially in the early rounds of drafts. I personally think there's too many red flags with a guy like Jalen Carter. There's too many there's just too many concerns now about not only off the field BS like what we just saw with Ruggs. Could it be a Ruggs 2.0? too many red flags with respect to his work ethic, because apparently he showed up to his own pro day 9 pounds overweight and was unable to complete most of the pro day activities. So, given all that, I understand that, the roll of the dice, is certainly there. He is definitely going to be drafted one way or another. But having said that, I just don't think that spending that high of a pick on him right now, especially given where this team is at, um, I just don't. I don't see it personally. Now, if you want to talk about, like I said, if you're drafting in terms of need at position wise, and you still think you really need a defensive tackle, which I do believe they need. Um, I could see an argument for a different player at that position, but like I said, I mean, if you do a pro and con analysis of Jalen Carter, the one big pro, and it's a big one, is natural talent. Like that's certainly there, but there are so many cons. Um, when it comes to him as well, that to me it outweighs taking that risk, because that's what you're doing. You're taking a risk on all these players, right? I mean, nobody can see into the future and see what's going to happen with any of these players, but at the same time, you do have to understand the risks that you're taking with every individual player. So, for that reason, I personally don't think they should draft him. Um, I mean, yeah, I guess that's in a nutshell. That would be the answer to my topic. To your topic / question. I just don't see it. I think that there are other needs as well. We were just talking about quarterback, as we talked about in the past. Other needs like corner, that needs to be addressed as well. So that could be prioritized as well. Obviously, guys like Christian Gonzalez, Devin Witherspoon, Joey Porter Jr., whoever you want to throw out there, they don't have the same kind of off the field or other work ethic related BS, as far as I'm aware, to worry about. So I think that pick could much more wisely be used on something like that. So I just think Jalen Carter, I just don't think it makes any sense to roll the dice on him at this point. Rudy, what do you think? Is there anything you wanted to add?
Yeah. We've had guys that've had attitude problems like Rolando McClain. I don't know if anybody remembers him.
Yeah.
He had off the field issues, and he was from Alabama too. But the thing is,
appreciate you, bro.
Salute Raider allegiance. The thing is, though, is that he's got a lot upside. But look at Mekhi Parsons. He had a hell of a lot of talent, but he had off the field issues, but he worked pretty good for Dallas. But the thing is, though, there are other positions we do need to address, like quarterback and corner, because I'm thinking more corner than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind getting Christian Gonzalez, but I don't think we're going to get him anyway. I think Jalen Carter might get taken before us anyway. Sorry, my voice is a little weak.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. First of all, obviously that's possible. Somebody could decide to roll the dice on Jalen Carter before we do, in which case the whole point would be moot. But yeah, as you say, Rudy, I mean, yeah, there are obviously a lot of examples of guys who have their problems off the field, and these are examples that we know of people who actually in the NFL have, already having been, become professionals. They have this issue, and Jalen Carter seems like he potentially could be that kind of a guy, unfortunately. So I wish him the best as a human being and even as a player. I just don't think the Raiders should be that team to roll the dice on it being their problem, right? Like, let it be somebody else's problem. That's pretty much the way I look at it. But yeah, I mean, as you also say, Rudy, I mean, there are other issues in terms of positions on this team to address, such as corner, right? I mean, with Ross Sin likely out the door, we need to replenish that position, and getting a guy, a prime corner who definitely, I think almost certainly, one of the top corners in the draft could fall to us. I think that's definitely an avenue that they could take. So, and obviously with Patrick Graham being at the Senior Bowl and coaching and being able to have that close of a look at a lot of guys transitioning to the NFL, I think he would definitely be very happy to get a top corner who could, really man his defense and learn how to play football in the way he wants to play football. So I think there's a lot of value to that. So like I said, I think there are just a lot of different other positions that could be prioritized over not only defensive tackle, but over Jalen Carter in particular. But like I said, defensive tackle being selected, if as long as it's somebody else, I wouldn't necessarily have an issue with. Although I don't, to my knowledge, there isn't a defensive tackle rated as highly as Jalen Carter. No, is there anything you wanted to add?
Yeah. I didn't mention this when I was doing the talking about it originally, but
Yeah,
like you said, his stock has definitely tanked as a result of this incident, and because of his
right,
pro day as
right,
well, considering that his athleticism did appear to be much worse, considering the situation, and people have their own theories about the psychological
right.
aspects of going through all the legal issues of this. I would not be surprised to see him drop, maybe even past the top 10, past some other, defensive tackle hungry teams like Seattle and Detroit. So, if he's still sliding down there, obviously, you don't want to have another player that's drafted that's going to cause up, a media firestorm and make, this, the headquarters, a headache to work out essentially and cover.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do trade down and he is still there, I think you would have to take him depending on where exactly you trade down.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, obviously he does not done any favors to help his case or his
Right.
draft stock in that matter.
Right, exactly. He's done pretty much anything you could think of as far as doing stuff wrong to hurt his draft capital, right? His draft value. So I look at a play like that and I'd say that there's a lot of red flags there. You could even liken it. You can even compare him to Jamarcus Russell as far as a guy who a lot of natural talent, but like do you want a guy like that who not only could have off the field? I'm not saying Jamarcus Russell had off the field issues that I remember, but certainly as far as the work ethic is concerned, could he be the same kind of guy? Because that's the NFL is based on work ethic, right? I mean, talent's nice and everything, and it does matter, but how much do you study? How much do you commit to your body? Not only in terms of working out and things like that, but in terms of dieting, things of that nature as well. So um, it is tough to say for sure that he will take the NFL seriously. So, like I said, there's so many different reasons why I'm not sure enough on Jalen Carter. And because of that, I don't think they should roll the dice on him. Sergio, is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it just feels like this is reminding me of the Rugg situation, and I kind of just don't
Mm-hmm.
want him because of it. As
Right,
much as like a talented player he is, and in his mindset right now, he's probably not in a good place right now.
right.
And I feel like the team that would take him, that would take the risk right now, is the Lions right now,
Mm-hmm.
considering that the Lions have kind of been the only team that spoke about him. And I think
Mm-hmm.
I think they're kind of trying to make sure his draft stock falls the way Dan Campbell's been talking about him a little
Mm-hmm.
bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, to me, I feel like Carter wouldn't really in his mindset last in, especially with this regime, because I can say like this regime is more like like coaching wise the military base. Meanwhile, Dan Campbell is more like opposite of that in a
Mm-hmm.
way. So I feel like
He's more
Carter,
of the humble guy.
yeah. So I feel like Carter would like be more welcomed over there, considering what's happened, rather than over here. Not trying to like diss like the coaching stuff and how they coach and stuff, but I feel like that's kind of like what's happening right now, considering how Dan Campbell is.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, you think about the Lions where they are in the draft right now. I would certainly say that as far as they're concerned, we're almost certain to see Jalen Carter falling to them. I mean, I have to think that Carolina is going to pick a quarterback, having broken the bank on the first overall pick. The Texans, I guess, potentially, given that their new head coach is a defensive guy, maybe he wants to prioritize that. I personally wouldn't do that, having a pick that high if I were the Texans, but outside of the Texans, I mean, who else is ahead of them? The Colts? No, the Cardinals. The Cardinals, maybe the Cardinals need help on defense, so maybe they do it. But like I said, I just think that where the Lions are right now in the draft, I think you could pretty, you should be pretty secure in the idea that Jalen Carter will fall to you. But like I said, I mean, with any of these teams, it's really just a matter of, do you want to roll the dice on it being your problem, and by it I mean all of the red flags that seem to be coming with Jalen Carter that could come to a head.
At the end of the day, I think it's going to be pretty easy for Ziegler to make the decision, because I think this is the decision you make at the final day, no matter what his work ethic is, no matter what he is. There are other players on the board that don't have those problems. Then, like, you bring on a dude at that high pick with all those issues, they're not. Why? Why would you do that? You can go cornerback, defensive end. You can go linebacker. You can go fucking wide receiver. Hell, you even go to O tackle. You got players. You don't have to go pick a motherfucker like that. So I just don't see us taking a player like that, especially not Ziegler. Like, they're not here to put a dude through mental health at the 7th pick. Like, I get that guy has his issues. That why we're not going to be the ones to try to fix it. I mean, if he falls to a later pick and then somebody brings him up, people at those picks are looking for people that are solid-minded people that are here to lead their organization, and especially within the top 10. Like, that's exactly what those picks are looked at. So to sit and say, like, Jalen Carter's a phenomenal player, and if the circumstances weren't the way they are right now, I'd take him in a heartbeat, not even thinking twice. But you also don't know where he's at mentally either. So, and yeah, his parents and everybody can be like, hey, you gotta step it up, and you gotta act this way so we can get into the NFL and we can get paid. And maybe once he gets here, he might just break the hell down. Like, I'm just saying, for us at that pick, even if he was there, and I even said, like, I'm still taking Christian Gonzalez over him, because Christian Gonzalez brings that I'm here, fucking play right now, no problem, no baggage, like, phenomenal player. Like, at the end of the day, I don't want to sound rude about saying, like, it's not like I don't care about him, but at the end of the day, it's about building winning franchises. If he needs help, then step off the field and someone can help him. Then it's not, oh, what team takes them to do that? To be honest, when you're coming into the draft, you're coming as the best of the best. That's what you're here for, dude, to get on a team and fucking win. Like, so for me, I love a skill set. I've said it hell times. I'd love to get him. There's no doubt. But I'll say it right now. If Tyree Wilson's on the board at 7, he's on the board in Gonzalez, I'm still taking Gonzalez. And if Gonzalez is gone, I would take Tyree Wilson before I took Carter. And no, he isn't just the best D tackle out there. He is one of the best for sure, but Breeze is also a really good fucking D tackle too right there. So it's not like you don't have other options that ain't going to come with the issues. I think when you're looking at the Raiders, this is why I say, like, look at the 2 players that people are talking about already, Anthony Richardson and motherfucking Jalen Carter. Like, dysfunctional written on both of these fucking dudes bigger than shit. And, like, these are what fucking Raider fans are talking about, because that's what they're used to. Like, yeah, look, I think Ray Lewis had the issue, about the double with the murder charge, comes back Hall of Famer. I mean, I get it that people could have deals, but we don't know this guy where he's at just physically. And I'm just saying, as a smart businessman, not personal with any person, any deal. If I'm just doing what's best for the Las Vegas Raiders, I'm passing on him 100%, not even a doubt. And if he's there in, like, round 2, I'd swoop him in a heartbeat, dude. Because, I mean, Trayvon Moore kind of shit, I mean, I'd swoop him in a heartbeat, like where the value is in that point in the second. But still, I mean, you know what? I probably want it. I'd probably still take Hooker, because I think Hooker adds more value that over the longevity. The problem, like I said, I think the thing, like me even reversing it, the thing that made me do that is because I thought, like, where is he mentally in 5 years? Where is he mentally? You know, like, so I don't know, man. So I would, for me, I think he needs to go to a team that has depth and can help him to where he, like, not expect him to come in and just start right now. Like, that's where I think he kind of needs to go right now, to be honest, because you don't know what's going to happen. Like, you don't know where he's at mentally. If he shows you he's physically ready when you get to the field, great. That's a different deal. But right now, I just don't. I've always said there's just no way to validate it. You know, you don't know what's going to happen with the atmosphere here. I just think here is the worst place to bring them. Like that, you're just like throwing fucking gasoline on the fire. Like, in my opinion. So I think it has to be. And listen, Ziegler said straight out of his own mouth, like he said, what's his Carter? He said that Carter will be evaluated fairly, and that if he passes the evaluation test and that he passes what they're looking for, then they will bring him. Like, they're not going to, but he still has to pass those tests too. So I think at the end of the day, it's going to be an easy pass. Even passing the test for them, I think it's going to be an easy pass, because I just think at the end of the day, when you're looking at Wilson or Christian on the field, that's not even a subject. You know what I mean? So that's all. That's what I think. I just think it, and we should pass that. For the franchise to do what's right, we should pass. Like, I think you would take Breeze if you're, in my opinion, just more solid, stable. Like, maybe not as great as this guy can be, but who knows if this motherfucker even comes out and does shit. And I think that's just the risk you got to take at that point, you know? So, in my opinion, but not for us.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, I get it. I mean, like, schematically, given that, you know, Patrick Graham runs a 3-4 base, that means that a guy in the middle of that defensive line is going to be that much more important, because you don't have multiple interior linemen for the most part. So with that said, I mean, I understand why you can make that argument purely from the standpoint of the position that he plays. But yeah, like I said, I agree with you, Dustin. I think this is a special case where, you know, no matter what what position he plays as an individual right now, he's going through a lot of stuff. He's done a lot of stupid stuff, frankly. And it's the kind of stupid stuff, really, that Las Vegas should be the last place you should be going to.
And aren't you supposed to be rewarded for your hard work and the dedication that you put into what you do? Don't they tell you all the time in college? I don't know if any of you guys been to college or played sports in college, but they tell you all the time, one night can fuck up your whole career, man. One fucking night. He chose the one fucking night. Now he's gonna have to pay the consequence, dude. Now it may be that he don't go the first pick or top 10. It may be that he goes to the second round, but he has to pay that consequence, dude, because at the end of the day, it's not, why should he be rewarded for something that is not, the fucking dude died, regardless how he died. I mean, I'm not against how they did it. Racing's racing. I mean, I love racing. I mean, deaths happen on, look at Earnhardt. Earnhardt died, but I don't know how he died. I mean, this kid, you know, but all I'm saying is like, I just still don't think Earnhardt died getting paid to race. This kid ain't getting paid to race. He was getting paid. Well, he was gonna get paid to come to the NFL and play, which he still will. But I'm just saying, I don't see why we would take somebody with the issue at the end of the day. Like, that's just the bottom line. I think when Ziegler looks at that pick and says, could he be great? Yes. Is he a good player? Yes. Could he fill this need? Yes. But he has it's not a little fucking issue. It's a massive fucking issue. So that's a problem. And then when he looks at Christian Gonzalez or he looks at Tyree Wilson and asks those exact same questions and answers them the exact same way, guess what question he ain't going to be answering? Is that motherfucking one right there. And that's a massive fucking question. So I just think, like, when you're coming to, I'm not putting something on someone's past. You know what I mean? Like, if he had this on the past and he was in college playing football and played at a hell high level and all this shit, then great, whatever, you know. But the problem is you're having all this put on you right now You're going to go to the draft. It's hella high amp. You're going to go to the practice. You're going to still have all this shit, court-wise shit probably going on. Like, if they just said like, is the court cases all done? Does anybody know? Like, is it all done? Like, is he going to jail? Is whatever happened done and over? Like, he's done with court?
Heck, even the Henry Ruggs court case isn't even done. I expect this thing to not even be done.
But that's what I'm saying. If he's still in court and there's still something lingering to him, that has to be red flag instantly. Like, why would you put your first pick in the draft him? Why would you do that?
Right.
Like, you just be asking for these motherfuckers come to you in the middle of the season, say that we found video of this fucking dude and then he fucking did hit him or something. And, you know what I mean? Fuck that. Yeah. Fuck that. You know, so I'm not going that route, dude. Like, if there's a 5th round pick, I'd give a shit. Like, you can have him fucking, a lot of 5th rounders sit on the bench anyway, so you can have them. But I'm just saying, like, if there's still a court case going on, it has to be another F, like instant. It's just a fail, like straight fail pick, because I'm just saying I can name 2 dudes that are going to be superstars in their career and would be phenomenal ads for us with Tyree Wilson and Christian Gonzalez. And I would go Gonzalez, but again, why would? That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's it. At the end of the day, they're fuck superstars without the problems. They get the problems here and happen, then that's their fucking problem. But right now, they don't have that problem. And I've said that's a big question if I'm sitting at a table. Like, that's all I'm saying. And if I walk out to my coach and I say, hey, man, we're not picking him because we don't need the weight of that or the bearing of it, and that something of them happened because we need the team to get together because we need to make the Super Bowl this year. We need the best continuity of players. We don't even need this to be a factor of a thought. That's how you have to do it. And then let's go, boys, because now if I take Wilson or I take Gonzalez and we're on the field, we're never thinking of it, and it's never deal. I've always said what comes in the season is what you create. What you picked before the season is what you've created. Like, fuck that. That's 2 failed picks.
Yeah. Henry Ruggs thing, Henry Ruggs was just unexpected. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody. You know, he was unpredictable. He had good behavior in college and everything, but it was just a heat of a moment where he decided to do a stupid, and none of us thought this would ever happen.
No, I did not think I was going to wake up in the morning and read that fucking article.
Especially the same guy that preaches about drunk driving.
Dude, I was in Scouts. I was in Scout server. I was in Scout server. We were all fucking up at like 5, 6 in the morning, and everybody was talking about, hey, do you think that's Ruggs' car? Because I think it was that Melon dude, that fucking that Melon guy on Twitter or Instagram that posted about it. And they were like, do you think that's his car? And I'm like, no, it's not his car, man, because it has this design on it. So I was telling him the whole time, I'm like, it's not his car, man. His car has this design. I was showing the picture. And then sure enough, he just bought that fucking car. He actually just bought that car that he got in that accident in. And then fucking that's when we found out, and then started hearing all the reports, everything on it. Like I said, yeah, you're right. Nobody would have thought that was coming, because I didn't think it was coming ever, because I thought he was about to take the NFL by storm. That's what I thought he was about to do.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, he is a phenomenal player, man, and it sucks, but I still didn't take him back anyway, so I don't care. I don't like how that shit happened. I don't believe in people that drink and drive, let alone murder a fucking girl and let her burn to death in her car. Like, I don't care if he went to prison or not. I would not want him on my team, dude. Like, not me, man. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Like, I'm not putting someone's athletic skill ahead of somebody like that, because I have kids. No. Again, why should somebody be rewarded on one night? I said it, dude. I just literally said it a second ago about one night can decide your whole fucking future, you know? So, no. I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, sports doesn't mean everything. Like sports is on a one weekend that you watch that motherfucker on a Sunday. You don't know any of them. You're lucky if any person that in all the people that talk about sports or not knows players to begin with, let alone calls them a friend in real life. And then to sit there and say that it's okay to justify that he was driving 150 mile an hour middle of fucking town, in the middle of town, at middle of the fucking night and kills a kid and lets her burn to death in the car while he's on the side drunk on the ground. There's no justification for that at all. Like, not at all. Man, I don't even want to say what I do because it probably fucking delete the
limit
channel.
was only 35 miles.
I'm just saying, like, straight the fuck up, dude. Like, you can't do that and then just be able to sit here and say that because of his skill set, that you would just look past that. No, man. Like, I think that other guy that hit the player and killed him, he hit him in the crossway, dude, when the dude was coming. So I think it's a whole different thing. And he only went in there for like a year or less and back in, but this is way different, dude. And like, I agree with you. Ruggs is a great dude. I really liked him a lot, man. But again, it doesn't matter. If you can't hold your alcohol, you can't do things, you can't drive home. Like, nobody's out there in there. Why are you doing it to begin with? You know, like, you're showing off for who? Nobody. And then it costs you everything. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, I like, listen, none of you guys, I don't think any of you guys have kids. Like, I got fucking kids, dude. Like, that's not cool. And listen, my brother died to this shit, dude. Like, I don't agree with it, and I don't justify it. I'm a grown ass man, dude. I party, I have fun, I go out. I've been in jail plenty of times. I've never I've never driven drunk. Like, I don't drink and drive is what I'm trying to say. Like, I've never done that. I'll sleep right here in the back seat of my pickup or right here in my seat fucking till I sober up and wake the fuck up. Like, why do I want to kill somebody's family? Why do I want to make it where that dude, like, can you imagine if you were a fucking dad, but none of you guys are dead, so you wouldn't even know how the feeling feels to begin with. And can you imagine, dude, if you're fucking sitting in your house and you're fucking thinking like, oh, my kid's out all the time, we're in Vegas, fucking, 3, 4 in the morning is nothing. What about 7? Like, what happens what if they you ain't getting notified till 3, 4 hours after she burned alive? You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking bullshit. Like, that'll make a dude go fucking psycho, like straight fucking psycho, dude. Like, no, hell no. And that's all I'm saying is like, nah, fuck, it would destroy me. It'd kill me. No, like, no way, man. Like, that's next level fucking just not give a fuck, like, and like literally, like, where you walk a dude literally in a movie where he just walks up and clink fucking lights out, you know what I mean? Like, not even fucking even a thought in your mind, like, and it's gonna destroy you as a person. Like, he didn't just kill that girl, like, he might as well killed that person's family too, like even if you have kids, dude, that loss is gonna be a hole in your heart. It's gonna hurt, man. Like, it's not a good one, man. Not a good one. Because I don't fucking, you guys hear me all the time. I say on weekends or even New Year's or anytime we get off, I tell people like, hey, don't drink and drive, man. Fucking call an Uber, like, I say that shit all the time because I get it, dude. I party. I'm a grown ass dude. Like, I get it, dude. But killing somebody's family doesn't make you grown ass man. Like, that has nothing to do with anything. So, again, I just think, like, at the end of the day, you can't justify someone's skill set for some shit like that. Like, there's got to be a fucking line here. Like, trolling or not, there's got to be a fucking line.
I'm sorry, Richard Lyon.
Yeah, sorry for
your
uncle's
loss.
Yeah, heck yeah, same, bro.
I mean, suffice to say, with all that in mind, and also Dustin, sorry for your loss as well. For I believe you said your brother or your friend or something was lost to the same thing.
My youngest brother, but it's still, like I said, it's like, he's a great kid and everything, and like, I love him to death and everything, but again, you hear me say it on here, man. If you choose to pick up your keys, you choose to open the door, you choose to walk to the car, open the door, put the key in, turn the key on, press the brake to get the fucker out of the park. Like you've already made fucking 50 choices on the path you're going that you just started. So I've always said, like, I don't blame drinking. Like, I don't, because the way I look at shit is if your mind can recognize that, means you recognize that. So you know what you're fucking doing. I don't accept people to say like, no. I'm like, bro, I've been partied so fucking hard where I come from. I'll be fucking throwing up on the side of the fucking road in the fucking ditch in the back of a pickup, or like we get fucked up. I'll be in a bathtub, fucking just shit faced, drunk, fucking naked, water on. Like I've been fucked up, like. But I'd never go out to my pickup. And even when I did go out to my pickup, I still knew, shit-faced or not, to turn on the car to warm up, to then not to put it in fucking drive and drive home, even though I may even live just a fucking few miles down the road. Like, I watched dudes leave our house when we were younger, partying, get in an accident, die. Like, I've seen a lot of drinking, driving, bad accidents. So, like I said, I've just say, like, dude, one night we were sitting out in our garage, dude. I was like 12 years old, sitting out there with my brother-in-law, everything. We're all partying, smoking bud. They're drinking, fucking. All of a sudden, you just hear this fucking, fucking just flip, fucking. I mean, you hear this big old smash, dude. We open up the door to the garage, fucking looking. It's hella foggy, dude. You can't see shit. And fucking, you can just hear like from the horn and everything. We're like, what the fuck? And we're in the country. Like, we're in the country on the middle of this road. Look it up. Collier Road and Lower Sacramento Road in Acampo, California. And long story short, dude, we're on that fucking corner right on the very end, right there at the Great Vineyard Field, dude. And fucking our house is right there, that white house, right in the garage, everything. We fucking go running out there, dude, and we're like fucking running through the orchard because, like, what the fuck, dude? There's like, 10, 15 of us. We partied all the time. And my mom always said we can just party at the house so we ain't drinking and driving. That's what she always tells us, Don't give a fuck. Hey, sit in sleep on the fucking floor. Don't give a fuck. Just don't drink and drive, And long story short, man, we get out there on the road, dude. There's this fucking two girls that are younger girls in the back seat. Fucking one's bleeding like a motherfucker. The mother and father in the front, they're fucked up, dude. Like, we're in there taking off our shirts, dude, fucking putting on her so she ain't just fucking bleeding to death. And you hear this fucking dude all of a sudden from the other car get up and take off fucking running. Well, this fucking dude that just passed away, I think last year, David Murphy, he fucking popped up. He's a big old boy. And he fucking ran him down the street, fucking tackled him into the ditch, everything, fucking got him. Long story short, dude, the craziest thing is they ended up living everything. But the craziest thing is the fucking guy that hit him was their next door neighbor, dude. And he was fucking drunk, dude, fucking driving down. He was going to kill himself because that road has a fucking T, and at the end of the T, it has them, the metal concrete posts that are in there, fucking at the end. He was going to try to run off and kill himself like that. And then the fucking neighbors with the husband and wife and the two daughters, they were fucking coming home, dude, and they turned the corner as he fucking caught them, So it's just crazy how shit works in the world, dude. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. It ain't worth it, dude. I'll just be honest. Like, it's not fucking worth it. So,
definitely.
Yeah.
I just think it's fucking nuts. Because what's the fucking odds of a neighbor? I always thought about that shit. I thought about that shit just the other day too. That I was in a conversation talking, and I'm just like, what's the fucking odds of every fucking dude at the time? You know what I mean? Like, what's the odds? Like, it was so weird, but one of the weirdest things ever in my life. But either way, like I said, I don't just drinking and driving or killing like that. I just don't support it, nor should anybody. And I think like we should move off of Henry Ruggs. I don't even support talking about it like that. I just think like we shouldn't even bring it up, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, suffice it to say, the whole, the what's come to light about Jalen Carter, the Henry Ruggs situation is still so fresh that, nobody wants a repeat of that, especially this close to the Henry Ruggs situation. So, like I said, I mean, long story short, as I think we're all in agreement about, there are so many red flags surrounding Jalen Carter that it really doesn't seem like it's worth it, especially to burn a seventh overall pick, if not a higher pick if they do decide to trade up um, on a guy like that. So I think we're all in agreement that it should be somebody else's problem, and especially as far as the league in general, because you don't want another horrible situation to reflect poorly on the league. Him being in Las Vegas all this time could make him even more likely to um, get into some BS like a street race or something like that. So having said that, also given the fact that, as I also mentioned, there are other needs that we need to fill through the draft. So because of that, I don't really see a reason to prioritize Jalen Carter, even if he is still technically on the Raiders draft board as of now. Moving on to our next topic, Rudy, this is going to be yours if you want to get us started. Your topic, it caught my eye when you first told me about it. I thought it was interesting. So in your opinion, the right side of the O-line for this team needs fixing. And I thought that was interesting just because obviously I immediately thought of Jermaine Illuminor, who had played pretty much for the entire season right tackle for this team. And while he did in general play well, it was, the penalties, especially at key times, that could kill drives, but really make drives harder to continue down the field, and obviously in general hurt the team's offensive production. I think there's a concern there, although of course, as a New England guy, historically, Jermaine Illuminor is probably going to be receive preferential treatment or receive a look over guys in because of Josh McDaniels and what he likes to see out of his players, and as we've all been told, know the system and whatnot. So, why don't you get us started on this topic of yours? With as far as do you think they should pursue an offensive lineman such as a Paris Johnson out of Ohio State in the draft? Could that be something that they do? Should they sign a free agent at right tackle? What exactly were you looking at with this topic?
Well, I would say it like this. You got Brandon Parker. I didn't think they were going to re-sign him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's better as a backup left tackle. But as a starting right tackle, he's okay. But not against guys like Joey Bosa or Khalil Mack. Mm-hmm. That's my concern of Brandon Parker. But Illuminor would be better as a guard than a tackle. If he was as a guard and we had Brandon Parker as the right tackle, I think that would be slightly better. But if we're going to get a right tackle in the draft, I think Ziegler will probably, down trade a little bit to get more draft value, just like they did with Colt Miller.
Didn't Illuminor post that him and Colton are going to be the best tackles in the NFL? I could have swore I remember him posting that post.
Yeah, he said something like that. Yeah,
I don't know if you'd be that confident to post that if they didn't feel that same way too.
I'm not confident about Illuminor, but that's me.
I'm just saying that he said best tackles. Yeah. He didn't say guard. He said tackles.
Because Illuminor, he has short arms. And yes, Munford would be better as a tackle over Illuminor. But one thing, the problem with Munford is that he can't line up.
Yeah, but Sanja, listen, I don't usually watch people's videos a lot, dude. Yeah. Like I go over and support them live and talk in the chats things for a little bit, but for the most part, like, don't go outside and watch individual people. But Sanja made a video on Illuminor where he shut down some of the best players in the NFL, like Cam Jordan and frickin', like, he shut down big names, and he did a good job at it too. So, and he'll show the video on how Illuminor became. They say that he was the 5th best ranked tackle in all of football after week 5. So, I mean, I don't think you're going to get graded like that, or people say that if it ain't true. I mean, and then Sanja made video, which you can go look it up right now, where he shows you the video of where he's dominating those dudes. I mean, he dominated him so bad dudes on the line were just fucking turning around and giving up and walking backwards. So I get that he had big plays because I was the one that criticized him on the Waller play down there in the end zone on that fucking hold. I mean, I was the first to do it, but when you watch somebody that goes in and takes the time to literally evaluate the players, the time, who they're playing against, how they played against them, and not only just one snap, but multiple snaps, I mean, Sanja's already showed that he could dominate those players. He did it, and he has the video to prove it. So I don't know if I'd just be so fast to keep assuming like they need to fix the line. They were ranked the top 10, top 12 offensive line in all of football, and you're getting back healthier players. You're getting back better continuity. You already know the left side of it staying. I mean, you already know that. You get already. Did they re-sign Illuminor? Did they re-sign him?
I think
they re-sign him.
Yeah, they did.
Then fuck, he's playing. Like, why would you re-sign fucking guy as starter all year last year? Why wouldn't he start now? Like that's what I'm saying. Like to sit and say like, would they pick a player in the draft to help make it better? Like I'm not gonna disagree in the later rounds, but there's no way they're going in there in the fucking beginning and anywhere in the top 3. I bet like the 5th round, 4th or 5th, if they see a player there, I think they would say okay. But I think when you're sitting there saying like middle linebacker or fucking offensive line or fucking D tackle offensive line, fucking DN offensive line, cornerback offensive line. You know what I mean? Like there's plenty of other fucking that dominate that spot by a mile. Backup quarterback, starting future quarterback, fucking you know, offensive line. Like, I just don't see it. I think, like you say, you got to remember, too, they got Harron that was injured, and now he's going to be back, dude. I mean, you got players they traded from the Patriots that know that, dude. And it's not just coincidence that Illuminor started, too, from the Patriots. You know what I mean? Like, I just think, like, they are. And did they re-sign Barr, too, right? I think I read that they re-signed Barr, too.
Illuminor did improve. He did improve, though. Yes, he did.
That's my point. Is like they're re-signing the same dudes because they don't see it. They don't see it the same way that the public sees it. I mean, if I recall, they've damn near re-signed their whole offensive line over again. So that's all I'm saying. Like they're not viewing it like people want to talk about it. That's facts.
Yeah, they'll probably do a lot of plays where they put Mumford as extra blocker. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing more Mumford around as an extra blocker.
And it's not uncommon, dude, to get UDFA offensive players and put them on the team and let them play, or go into the 5th round or 7th, 6th, 7th. I mean, you have to think about it. Like picks 1 through 4, because you got 2 third rounds. So picks 1 through 4. In all reality, dude, is like you need to be offense out of 3 out of the 4, and I think the one offense player needs to be the quarterback over any offensive lineman by a mile. So that's all I'm saying. So then pick 5 would be round 4, and then that's where you could probably look. You know, maybe 5. I think round 5 would make more sense. You know,
I think we're more likely going to go for a guard, for depth though. Just for depth, but it'll be in later rounds, probably like maybe the 5th round or something.
Probably because I just think there's too much bigger need. I mean, you can't be rated the top 10 and 12 and suck like that. I don't know why people these days. I don't know why people these days like people's analogy, the way people think. It's just fucking crazy, dude. Like. When you're last, that's then, and when you're 12th or 10th, that's like right up in the beginning, you know. So, but that's all I'm saying is like they're not too far off of a player that they need to go put that. Like when the dude, what was that guy that said that we were the first we were taking an offensive tackle with the 7th overall pick? Like that's fucking bullshit.
No, I wouldn't take that.
Yeah, I just think that stuff's crazy when people do that shit. So
I was getting ready to lose my sanity with how many mock drafts I've seen us take a offensive tackle in the first round.
I thought they just extended fucking Andre. What the hell?
Andre. Which Andre is that?
They didn't extend him. They just said they didn't extend Andre James. They just said that they're gonna keep him for this year.
I don't think they'll cut him.
I mean, that's a bold move if you do. I mean, that's a bold move because even like they said we're just gonna put Parham at center and both guards because it makes him his value worth more in case something happens if somebody goes down.
Yeah, Parham is a plan B. You know, you want him as a plan B, but you don't want him as plan A. If Andre James gets hurt, then you got a plan B with Parham. I would stick Parham as your.
This is why I just don't see that happening because now if you do that, now you're really creating a problem. Who the fuck goes left guard? That you know that it's fuck. You know what I mean? Like, you know that the left tackle, left guard, center are all fine. Like you know that for sure. Now, however you want to fuck around with the right guard, right tackle, the players are there. It's just what ones you want to put in there. That's your preference, but I'm pretty fucking sure Luminor is going to be part of that. So there's 4 of the 5. So who the fuck is the 5th? Like, you go doing that with Parham, now you got 2 more problems. You already got a big enough problem with 1. You know what I mean? Like, you got a big enough fucking problem with 1. And that's what I think it's like. It's like they sell, like, they're like, this wound just healed up. Cut yourself there so you can bleed again. Like, that motherfucking, what the hell? Like, oh, fuck, that wound's healing up, stab him. Fucking, you know, like, that's what you're doing. That's what you're fucking doing. It's like, fucking, got something that's already solidified, and it's like, oh, yeah, fuck, we're not cool with 1 problem. We need 2 now. Can't fix the first one. So let's fucking have 2. That's why being a Raider fan is so hard, man.
Yeah, I think Leatherwood should have never been gone, though. I do agree with that. He was just not a good tackle. He was a good guard. He should have been stayed as a right guard. But, you know, that's McDaniels and Ziegler. I mean, I didn't agree with it, but, you know, it is what it is.
He made all rookie pro, bro. Like, fucking, like, hell yeah, fucking Parham, great guard. Like, no doubt about it. Like, that's why I just think, like, sometimes I just think it wouldn't even make sense. Like, Andre James is fine. Like, it doesn't matter if you didn't pick him. It doesn't matter what position he played. At the end of the day, he couldn't have played too bad if Jacobs got 1,600 yards running by him. You know what I mean? So, like, he obviously did his job to fucking open the holes. So, again, if you're giving Carr 4.5 seconds of time in the pocket, I think you're doing just fine. You know, like, there's so many things I can sit here and say that they did just fine on.
If I can say anything about the O-line, I actually, in all honesty, have no worry about it whatsoever. Because, it was really crazy seeing them do, 20 different combinations in one season. It's the fact that they've thrown in 20 different combinations, top 3 in seconds allowing the QB to throw the ball, and, top 10 in sacks allowed. Like, at this point, hey, if you're top 10, do whatever you want with the O-line at this point.
And that's my point. When Jimmy gets over here, where Carr was taking 4.5 seconds, Jimmy's just familiarity. His familiarity with the fucking offense, he's not going to be spending that much time in there, dude. Like, listen, it's not a knock against anybody. It ain't a knock. If Carr had more time, he'd probably do the same fucking thing. Nobody's going to argue that. But what my point is just him going in. He has better continuity. He's going to get that ball off in 2.5 seconds, 3. You know, like, shit's going to just move a little more faster within there just because he knows it. You know, that's all. So, like I say, man, I mean, I don't know. Like I say, I just think freaking keeping your players there in that spot for sure. For sure. Like, I know they don't want to pay him like $10 million, and I know like the $5 million, but Ziegler said that he wasn't worried about giving him $5 million. He said that at the combine interview when they brought it up, dude. I mean, he said, "I'm not worried about Andre." He knew the team very well. He's a hard worker. He only improved as the year went on. Like, he spoke out in his own words. So I'm not gonna listen to no fan, and I'm not gonna listen to no journalist. That come out of his own fucking mouth about him. And obviously, if he's retaining him for the year, that's what he's gonna do. You know what I mean? Like,
what's crazy is that Illuminor took a big pay cut. Like,
who the fuck would even be the left guard to begin with? Like, who would even be that person?
Like, Illuminor's market value was, like, I think 2 to 3 times more than the contract they gave him. So I guess he's just trying to prove a point.
I think Illuminor is going to come out and prove his point, because I agree with what he said, and I agree with what Sanjay said. And when you're looking at how he played and the way that he played, I mean, a fan can have his personal biasness. I mean, that's fine. The fact is that he went against the best players out there, and they have the tape to prove that they couldn't even get by him. Like, couldn't even get by him. Get up on him, dude. He just fucking pushing fool off. He got one dude so pissed off. He looked like a dog in the backyard that paces the fucking fence. Like, he literally just got pissed off, started just fucking going back and forth on the line. Like, he didn't even engage him. And then he just walking sideways. Dude tried to come at him again, and he just fucking one arm him right off into the backfield. Like, I get he fucked up, because I was the first to fucking be on him, but again, you don't want to waste draft picks on players you don't need to. For one, facts. Like, if you want to improve or go with like a Monkford type deal, like I said, you think about it. They hit on Parham in the 3rd fucking round, dude. They can hit on another one in the 5th. I've said this hell of times on here and in to people. The Patriots usually don't even draft offensive linemen till rounds 3 and 5 to begin with. So that's all I'm saying. I just think, and I just don't think it's a big enough need. At the end of the day, like, it isn't. Yeah, it's not. Why would they sign Parker if they thought it was? You know what I mean? Like, that fucking signing made 0 sense when I seen that.
Yeah, Parker could be just.
He don't even have familiarity. He didn't even fucking play.
Yeah, he had that tricep injury.
Denzel Good comes back. We have his right, so he can try out too again. But that's all I'm saying is like, that's the kind of shit we're bringing here. Like, yeah, fucking. If we were looking to upgrade, I feel like if you're looking to upgrade, why would you sign Parker when you can go to free agency and probably find an upgraded player for what did they sign him for? Fucking $1 million, $2 million? Like, they couldn't have gave him much money. So why couldn't we have gone to free agency and went and gave it to a different player for $2 million fucking dollars? You know what I mean? Like, just like I'm saying about frickin' Duke fucking Shelley and Amik Robinson. Like, that's an upgrade. Like, that's a fucking upgrade. So that's all I'm saying is like, either way, fuck, it gets boring just thinking some of the shit we think about. Like, if you really sit back and just think about how the Raiders view things, for our past history, we've always taken like Jamarcus. Nobody can prove. Like, listen, I've heard that Richardson's compared to Jamarcus, CJ Stroud's compared to Jamarcus, dude. Like, I mean, people don't know how to evaluate people to begin with, and there's nothing implying that Richardson is going to be Jamarcus Russell. Let's be fucking real about this. Let's talk about it real fast so then we can get the hell, never even bring this fucking dude's name up ever again. Because, one, he had one of the most phenomenal fucking combines there was at the time, dude. Like, and probably still to this day probably holds a pretty well combine there. Like, he was phenomenal. The problem is he didn't do the fucking work. That's the end. Like, the fucking end. He did not do the fucking work. He didn't watch the tape. He didn't fucking dedicate the time that it takes to fucking win. He was the one that did it, nobody else. The end. Like, that's it. They sent him home with blank tapes. He didn't even watch them. Like, there's nobody to fucking blame. There's no excuses. There's nothing. He did that. How can you say C.J. Stroud is Jamarcus Russell when he studies like a motherfucker and he's dedicated and loyal as fuck, dude? Like, he is not fucking Jamarcus Russell, dude. Like, Jamarcus Russell even showed in college, dude, that he had that type of attitude, dude, and where he went to school at. So there was no arguing it. Like, and when it showed up here, it was just like, well, there it is, you know, like, and Stroud, you would never say that. You would never even think that. Like, and why would you even think that about Richardson? I don't even really know Richardson, dude, and I would never say that about him. Like, I would just say, like, he has a Lamar run capability, but he has fucking shit passing. Like, the end. I don't want that. Like, the end. It ain't no knock against him. It's just facts. That's it, dude. It's like, I don't care what his measurements and all this and that. Throwing the ball is a big fucking factor in the NFL. That shit matters. Like, and especially out there. So I'm not looking at that type of shit, dude. Like, we look at, and then Carter, dude, it's like, oh, Carter, like, Carter didn't have an issue. It'd be a great conversation. It's like this fool may have killed somebody or fucking watched dude die, and they're like, perfect, Raider, let's go get him. You know what I mean? Like, and then argue about getting him. Like, that's the kind of shit I'm not even understanding. I'm like, we're talking about our 2 fucking picks in the first round, 2 players, and they're the 2 fucking damn near the worst ones at this moment. Like, it doesn't even make sense, dude. Like, you have massive talent on the board there, and we're talking about 2 of the worst fucking picks you can pick in that round right now. Like, and that's the kind of stuff I just don't get, where we value ourselves like that, especially, dude. Like, even picking in the offensive line play, like I said, we're just wasting, dude. Like, that's what we're doing. We're just wasting. Like, that's what I feel. But Ziegler ain't going to do that shit. So I don't think we're going to have that issue. I don't think we end up with that issue. But it's just, that's what the Raiders have done for years, is that shit right there. Like, Jamarcus was not even the best pick that year. Darius Hayward-Bay. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
oh yeah,
there's like so many people, dude. I mean, fucking Rondo McClain, dude. There's so many people we picked, dude. Like, I never even like Darren McFadden. Like, there's so many picks that had better players on the board at the time, and those were the dudes we got. It's like fucking nobody in there ever amounted to shit. Like, none of them.
Yeah, we could have got Larry.
Fucking what did McFadden do? Get so drunk on the purple drink, fell by a pool, broke his fucking leg and shit. Rondo was getting drunk on the purple on the plane. You know, like, that's all, dude. There's just so many things that you're looking at other organizations, dude. Like, I think that's what makes Bill such a great coach, dude. Is like, John Gruden, at the end of the day, like, what the fuck is it that these dudes do to grown-ass men that have a lot of money and they're powerful? They're powerful, bro. Like, it doesn't matter if you come from the ghetto or not. They got fucked some of them. What was the guaranteed money on some of these dudes? What was Devontae's? Like, $70 million? Like, that's pretty powerful money right there. That's not, just, I scratched off a scratcher and won $1 million. Like, $70 million ain't no slouch, and that's guaranteed. That means you have it. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of money. Like, $70 million. Do you guys even fathom that even anymore these days? Like, I know saying $70 million might not sound much to dude plays GTA. It's a lot of fucking money in real life. Like, $70 million, like, fuck, you can own companies. You know what I mean? Like, you can own big-time brand names. So to sit and say they're not powerful, that's why I say there's coaches out there that just have it. Like, there's coaches that, like I said, what's Gruden and them have over anybody? They can hold them together. They don't get in trouble. They don't go out. They respect them, even though they can go inside their house and say that they can go in the house and say that, well, I got fucking $30 million, like Antonio Brown, right? I got fucking $30 million. I got $50 million. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Yeah, you don't have shit now. Like, the difference is like, I think when they go home and think about it, maybe Gruden really does pick right, because at the end of the day, when they go home and sit down at that counter or on that couch and someone's fucking around with them or says, hey man, let's go do this, that at the end of the day, even with all that money and all that power, they're like, hey man, fucking nah, Gruden ain't, nah, fuck no. They're probably like, you're fucking crazy, bro. Like, you think I'm gonna fucking listen to Gruden tomorrow? Like, you think I'm a, or Bill or fucking Andy or people of that factor? Like, they're not gonna allow that shit to happen on their clock at all. So I just think it's crazy, like, when you really look back at, like, just how loyal some people are to certain coaches, or how much respect that coach can get from an individual, even with the attitude or being in the streets or where they come from. Like, a lot of people don't give them enough credit, I guess, you know, because I don't either.
There's a bunch
That's a really tough deal, man.
Former Patriots players telling Lamar if he wants to go to New England, he's not gonna like Belichick.
Yeah, because Belichick's gonna fucking tell him what's up. That's why he's gonna be like, motherfucker, like, I don't give a fuck who you are, where you're from, what you've done, what you do in your streets. This is my motherfucking field. Like, that's the shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's maybe what he needs too. Not someone that wants to cater to him. Somebody that's like, hey, sit the fuck on the bench. I don't care what's up. You know, like, I think sometimes that's what dudes need when a guy, listen, when you're on the streets, dude, or in gangs or wherever you may be, that's not on a field. Like, this is Belichick's game. Again, just like I was talking about Carter a little while ago, is it's not Belichick's fucking issue to deal with your fucking personal problems. He needs the best player available on the field right here, right fucking now. So that's why I think, like, when it comes to that shit, like, he probably tells them, like, if you're not here to be great, don't fucking waste my time. Like, straight the fuck up. Where other people are like, hey, dude, we're giving you a check, and they don't have the leadership, and they preach in the locker room. They don't get the respect because some of the players don't respect them. Do you really? Let's be honest. Let's just ask an honest question. Do you think in Bill or John Gruden that you would fucking get any player that would fucking talk negative against them in that locker room while they're there? Fuck no. Fuck no. I don't see it happening. Like, they're gonna, like, that's why I said, like, can we sit here and say, like, Rich is a great guy, good coach? Like, people say it all the time. He's hella friendly. He's hella this. He's this and that. Like, Gruden's nice, but he, at the same time, like, how many people say, like, they fucking hate Gruden's guts? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the way he is, because that sometimes you need that, dude. You need somebody that, a lot of these kids come from spoiled fucking places, come from spoiled neighborhoods, you know, like, they're already in that atmosphere already. So for me, like I said, sometimes, like, that's why, like, with Josh and them, I would love to I wish that they weren't so closed off, dude. Like, in all honesty, like, I wish we were able to see more about, like, I wish they were able to do the Hard Knocks with the Raiders with Josh. Like, that's what I wish. Cause
you would not.
Even then, I don't even think the Hard Knocks would know what the heck.
I would just want to see. The thing is like, we can sit here and assume and say, like, oh, I think he does this, or there's no way to prove it, because even look at the scouts. Like, I got fucking a whole archive that says the scouts that were, or the reporters that were in the fucking preseason and in the off season, they straight said, like, these fuckers were sitting in this little square, you know, this little fucking square, while they're like 3 fucking fields over with the fucking wall. You know, like, people don't know what the fuck they're doing. If they're in Hard Knocks, we're going to see what they're doing. We're going to see what Josh is doing, like, with his players. Like, that's what I want to see. Like, how is he working them? What's he making them do? You know, that type of shit. Like, we can only speculate by someone's word. I don't have a pass to go down. I don't know if I can get one. I don't know what it would cost either. I don't think they would just give it to a regular person. Like, I don't think you can even do that. I think you'd have to go down there. I'd be like, yeah, DSR report, need my pass. Like, can I get on by her? Fucking let it go, you know, fucking. Nah, I don't know, man. There's a lot to it, dude. It's a tough deal. Tough game.
Yeah, and just to sort of put a bow on the going back to the online conversation with Parham versus James. The one thing we have to remember certainly is that Parham was somebody that this regime drafted. Andre James is somebody that they inherited. So for better for worse, however you think it'd be a great move or a bad move, don't be surprised if they get rid of Andre James just because he's not one of their guys. I mean, Trent.
It'd be a dumb move if you don't have a player to replace him.
Well, I mean, well, that's the thing. Like that's the rumors or the thinking is that Dylan Parham is going to be the one to replace him. So
then who replaces Parham? Like I said, you can't. It doesn't matter if Parham moves over. Who replaces him then?
I'm not defending.
And again, until they're not going to cut a guy that's a starter for nobody's backup. Like that's not fucking happening. That's fact.
I think now everyone's paranoid with what McDaniels and Ziegler are going to do just because of the Waller thing. Because they never said anything like
Waller's
going to be our starting
They should
tight
be
end,
too. Make him play harder. They
Waller's
should be too. Make him
playing.
play harder.
All they said was Waller is going to be like a valuable like piece for us, and he technically was. He ended up being a 3rd round pick. So they never said anything like he's going to start the season. Like with Andre James, they just straight up said, "Oh yeah, he's going to start as center next season." Even with like Jacobs, they're not even saying like, "Oh yeah, he's going to be our starter." They're like, "Oh, I hope he comes back," or like, "Oh yeah, he's that player that everyone wants." Like when you look at like between like what they say, it's like if they say something like I hope or like, oh yeah, everyone wants this player, it's basically like it's a 50-50 they're going to come back or not. But with like Andre James, where McDaniels just straight up said, oh yeah, he's the starter next season, that's like, I think that's when you just know like, oh yeah, they're going to stay, they're going to be here. Especially with like Hunter Renfrow, how like everyone was still speculating with the Hunter Renfrow, how like McDaniels, like that's probably Hunter Renfrow's probably the first player I've seen that's not McDaniel's player where he just straight up nonstop compliments him on like how he's a slot receiver. And he's like, oh yeah, slot receivers are like my guys. Like Hunter Renfrow is like the guy I would love to coach, and I hope he's healthy this season. So it's like, I don't know. It's just how I feel about some of the things he says.
He's a short white guy who plays slot receiver. I mean, I'm sure McDaniels has got a hard.
I mean, yeah, that right there says everything.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Schematically speaking, if what Devontae says is true about this offense where there's no dummy routes and everything is almost like a ballet where everything has to come together at the right time, given that Hunter Renfrow just kind of goes out there and does his own thing and doesn't really follow any kind of a script, if you will. I think schematically speaking, there could be some issues with that. But I mean, yeah, like I said, like you just look at the guy and you know that McDaniels is thinking, okay, Edelman, Wes Welker, Hunter Renfrow. That's what he's thinking. So and look, Hunter Renfrow is a great player. I'm just saying that like, that the issue as far as the incongruence with certain players who are very talented or who just the saying goes, just don't fit the scheme or whatever. He could be that guy. So that's something to look for as well. And another thing to also point out is that Jacoby Myers, you couldn't pick a better scheme fit for this team. He plays a lot in the slot too. So
yeah, and that's the thing is why would you go get him if Renfrow was so great in the slot?
Well, he's great in the slot. He's just like I said. I mean, we're talking about like a ballet, which is what McDaniels wants, versus a freestyle.
He just wants the guy to run his route the way he wants it. Run it straight, fucking run it here, run it there. That's all he cares.
Be a good boy, do your job, all that.
Yeah, he don't care about all that fanciness because I've said
when you go get Myers, when you go get Myers at what did we give him, like 10, 11 million?
Yeah,
So
we gave him.
you
I think
go
like
get
11. I think we gave him
yeah,
11 million.
you go get him. He plays great in the slot. Like he's a great slot receiver, dude. And like they said, they feel like and a lot of people feel like Myers was the steal of the free agency and that he's actually at the point of breaking out in his career at 26. So, and that he's only been on the uprise. So if that's true and holds the form, what is Renfro? Like Renfro is not no outside receiver. So I
Right.
mean, and then do you really need $26 million dedicated to the slot receiving position? Like that's fucking crazy. That's
Right.
crazy as hell. So I'm just saying, like I at the end of the day, I mean, how many years did we sign Myers for? 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just telling you, man. I think it's probably on the writing, to be honest. I mean, the writing's on the wall, to be honest, because
They
I
should
just
have done
think
it earlier then.
yeah,
Like,
but I just think if you do listen, if you get a trade as a trade, and when you're sitting there on draft night, I keep saying this, dude, like, we're a lot of people like Renfro and people like frickin' Jacobs, most value for us is on draft night, dude. Like that's where you can get a dude for a first round pick or squeeze him on a second because when a dude's sitting there saying that they're trying to fix their roster, right? And say that they're at a critical point, defense or offense, but in our case it's offense. So you're at a point going into the draft because you've already went through free agency, so you know where your fucking team's at and you're going into the draft and you're like, okay, we need this dude. Like, we need this player. And say some other team fucking jumps ahead of you, you don't even know what they're going, and then bam, they take that player. That's where Josh becomes very valuable. They hit him up. They're like, hey, man, like, what did you say you need for him again? Like, that one player can make and break some people's schemes, some people's the way that they fucking scheme games, period. Like the way they run their system. So in our case, both of our players in Renfro and Josh are both great, if not great players at their position. So like I said, man, I think it's not uncommon, dude. I think I've seen it happen a lot of times. I've seen it happen multiple times in the history of me watching football where good ass players get traded in draft night because, like I said, they have great value. Right now, look, you got to look how some of these guys think about it as a GM. They say like, yes, Josh is great, but at this moment, dude, like I can go over here and I'm just gonna say a name. I'm not saying that this is a player even on free agency. I'm just saying like, yeah, Josh is great, but I don't know, fucking what's the fucking dude's name? Maybe fucking Jeff Wilson for the Dolphins. You know what I mean? Like we can get by with Jeff Wilson. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
all I'm saying is like to the team right now in free agency and so on when they're building, they don't think Josh is that piece. Like right because like I just said, they can get by with a Jeff Wilson. But when you're building your team and you're getting to these points, and say you didn't get the player in free agency, and you're like, okay, we can get him in the draft first round because that's the type of player they're looking for is a competitive starting back right now. Like, so they're looking at him. Again,
Hello? Dustin, you still there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I was lost for a second.
Calling, and then it freaking can't even hear. But all I'm saying is like when you build in your roster and you feel like you're competitive, like for instance, dude, like you don't think Lamar and look, I don't think Lamar comes as valuable as Aaron to the Jets. But all I'm saying is if Aaron doesn't show up to the fucking Jets, They're going to be in real need for a quarterback real fucking fast. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm saying is when you're looking at the draft for players like that and they miss on a player there, he becomes a very attractive player. You see what I'm saying? That's why I've always said there are certain players that peak in other areas at certain times. And I think both of them would be very crucial. I've said it the whole time. I've said Josh's most value would probably be at the draft. I've said, and they even prove it. I said he took the tag, which extended him to what, July 17th. So it's passed, and you even have the other trade after it. Like, why aren't they working on the deal? Why haven't they worked on a deal yet? You know what I mean? Like, if you can get them on the tag for 10.1? Is that what the tag is?
For what position?
For Josh Jacobs, I think it's 10.1 million. Why can't they get a 3-year, $30 million contract going? Why?
For him?
Yeah, fuck, if he's playing on fucking 10.1 right now on the tag, that's the highest money he's gonna get anyways. So why in the fuck ain't he taking that? I mean, Eckler should be the biggest proven fact. Like, this fool damn near stick his own foot in his mouth, probably depreciate his value because he's like, well, the Chargers ain't paying me. Nobody else wants to give you it either. You know what I mean? Like, you may feel that way, but that's not how the NFL feels either. So when these dudes are talking like 16 million, you bull fucking shit. Well, guess where what's that saying that they always say about halfbacks? What's the saying that they say? Halfbacks is the easiest position in football to replace, right? That's what they say all the fucking time. Guess what saying will come back alive real fast? That one right fucking there. Like, they're not giving up that type of money, dude. Like, if you can sign Jacobs for 10 million right now, and if I remember right, and if I'm wrong, correct me, but did not Jacob say that he would sign for less money as long as they took the extra money and put it into players that gave him a chance to win? Did he not say that?
Yeah,
I remember him saying that clear as day.
Well, we'll
so
see.
Why hasn't he wrote a contract for 3 years, $30 million then?
Well,
because they're not doing it. They're not going to do it.
Yeah, I mean they tagged him for a reason, which was to table contract talks for a couple more, delay it for a couple more months. That's obviously the whole point of the tag.
Yeah, because I think 3 year, 30 million should be easy sign. Easy. What did he say? He don't want to play past 30, right? What is he? 25, 26, 26? So what's fucking 3 year, 30 million?
Let's see. I think it would be 26.
Right? Am I wrong on that comment again? Am I wrong on that comment again? That when's his birthday?
February 11th, 1998.
Nice. So he's 25 this year.
Yeah.
So he still has 5 years. I mean, he said, if I'm wrong again, correct me. He said out of his own mouth that he does not want to play past 30 years old. He said it straight up. So if he said that, that means he's only got 5 years, right? If he's at his peak in this 1 year, 3 year, 30 million should be easy. Should be easy sign. He should sign that easy. Like, all I'm saying is like Josh has already put it in the writing on the table that it's not going to take much money to sign him, and they haven't even pulled the trigger on it. They just tagged him, dude. Like, listen, what's the difference if they pulled up the tag and gave him the 3 year, 30 million? You're still on the books for 10 million. We don't gain or lose. You know what I mean? Like, we don't gain or lose. The only difference is we can give them a signing bonus where we could actually get more money back in our pocket. Because right now we're on the book for 10.1 because the way the franchise or the way that tag works is Josh has to show up to every game to get that money. Every game, 17 games all year. He has to be there to play to get that money. There's no injury. There's no nothing. Like, on that tag, he has to play to get the money. So all I'm saying is that if he was to sign a contract for 3 years, $30 million, he would get a signing bonus, which we would be able to, one, lift the tag up off of him. So then we'd still be able to, or no, because I think you can't tag guy anymore. But anyways, we'd still lift up the tag. And then we would be able to give him the signing bonus, which he wouldn't even be on the books for 10 million. We would actually gain money. We'd probably gain $3 million because we would probably get him down at like 7 or 5. You know what I mean? Like, so we can gain anywhere between $3 and $5 million. That should be easy sign. Easy sign. Not even doing it. Not doing it. Because I'm telling you, they're gonna trade this fool, man. Like, I just strongly feel they're trading him because the writing's there. Like, why ain't you doing it? He's already said he would do it. He's said that he would take the lesser money. He's playing on a tag, which the tag is always indicates more money than what you would make that year anyways. Like, the franchise tag is usually benefits you because you make more money. You know what I mean? Like, the teams don't want to have you on the tag. Like,
Let's
they're
also not
overpaying you.
forget. Let's also not forget they have to pay the rookies, and we're on $4 million in the cap, I think, right now.
That. Yeah, but I don't know. Somebody said I don't buy it. I'm not even bringing it up because I didn't look into it. So I'm not even bringing it that statement up. I'm just saying, man. Like, you can sign him, gain money. He's on a tag, cost us 10 million flat, 10 million hardcore money, hard cash. There's no way around that fucking. There's no loophole in that contract when you're on the tag. You sign a guy, there's plenty of loopholes you can get through to get the money, bring it down, solidify him. And I don't know if Josh is like, maybe they have offered him. I don't know. But what if Josh is like, no, I want a 5-year contract because I want to end at 30? You know, like, that's where I just think, I hope it ain't like that because he might have a better chance at making more money because if he went 3 years and 2 years, he can probably make more money that way. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I just think, yeah, go.
I was just gonna say that, like, it's pretty obvious to me that he wasn't being truthful when he said he'd play under the tag, because if that were true, then there, I mean, unless of course there were absolutely no contract talks, and right before the deadline they just decided to tag him. I don't think, to me, that doesn't make sense because they would have just tagged him immediately and it wouldn't have gotten to the deadline. It seems to me like there was actually contract negotiations going on and they went south because the Raiders were like, we're going to give you this. And it probably was not what Josh was looking for. And like I said, it would make sense that they trade him because, you know, this, once again, this is a guy that Josh and that this regime inherited. It wasn't one of their guys. So given that, along with the fact that they handled him in a weird way going into the year, he was like the only starter playing in the Hall of Fame game. That seemed to make no sense. It just it seems to me like they're going to trade him. And look, a trade of Josh Jacobs, as we've talked about before, could eventually, the proceeds from that could be used to move up in the draft if they're going to move up to number 3. It could be used to replenish.
That's what I'm saying. I've been saying that the whole time. I've said it the whole time. Like, we have the most. If it came to us moving to 3, I think I don't give a fucking who is the other team? The Titans. Titans. Yeah, Titans.
Yeah, the Titans.
They ain't got the firepower we do.
Yeah,
We'll smack them in the face, bro.
The Titans. I was like, what the heck?
I mean, come on, Josh Jacobs over Connor. Like, fuck, I said this about when I said the Bears. I said, oh, what about him going to the Bears? What did you guys say? Oh, Montgomery. I said, fuck, Jacobs over Montgomery ain't even nothing. And guess what? They just released Montgomery. Like, they were like, peace, bro. Like, so I'm telling you, I go fucking to the Cardinals for sure with Jacobs, dude. Like, I'd push Jacobs. I'd push Waller or Renfro. I'd push Jacobs and Renfro and try to get B Hops in the 3rd pick, bro. Like, but I don't want the 3rd pick if it, like, listen, unless it's fucking, I hate even to say this, but unless it's Stroud or Bryce, I don't want to go to 3 for anybody else. I don't even want to entertain the pick. I don't think that Will Anderson is like gonna be. Nah, he may be a great player, but there's a quarterback. You make those risks because that's your future. Like that's a major. That's the probably the most major position in football. So I don't think you give up fucking 2 first-round picks for Will Anderson. So at the end of the day, I just don't think you go there unless you know 100% that it's Bryce or Stroud because Levis is not good and fucking Richardson is not good. Like you're looking for a quarter. Look at if you're moving to 3, you're not looking for a quarterback in 2 years. You move to 3, you're looking for a quarterback right fucking now. Like one that's going to play not just this year, but next year. Like, be ready next year and not just ready at a very high fucking level ready. Not, well, I think he may be ready to play. No, this motherfucker ready to play. So, like I said, it has to be one of those 2 players, man. Like I don't think you do it for like Levis is a weird motherfucker. I don't know if you guys ever listen to this dude or fucking watch him, but he's fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, he is weird
He
dietary.
reminds me of like a serial killer, dude. Like this fucking gives me weird ass vibes every time I know that, but I'm just saying, like, he gives me weird vibes, like weird, like weird.
Obviously, it was very
And
off-putting.
I know you're in a serial killer, so I want to make that clear. But I'm just saying, like, when I watch him, I'm just like, oh, this guy makes me cringe for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, and look, with Levis and Richardson, one of one of the things to take into account is that I mean their stats, neither of them were stellar last year. I mean, Levis was 2406 passing yards, 2,406 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. And I mean,
yeah, that's not good. Not good in college. That's not Richardson. I don't know his yards and all. I know his touchdowns was 17-9, and that's not good in college. Like when you're trying to say like you're good, you're in some of their divisions. Like fucking 17 touchdowns, motherfuckers over there got 40, 50. Like, fuck, dude. It's not even a fucking. Who's great? Who's great? You going with 17? I'm going with 50. I don't even like Bryce. I'm hopping right on Bryce's back, bro. That little motherfucker. I'll put my leg over his fucking shoulder, but I'm fucking getting on Bryce's back, bro. Like there's not even a fucking doubt in my mind, So yeah, nowhere even close.
Yeah, and
Like
also
I don't even like him either, but I would take him.
Levis managed negative 107 rushing yards this past year. I don't know. That's I guess
he was negative 107.
Oh yeah, Levis.
That's
He
so
was like
bad.
one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the past.
What did he do? He said, "Hi, oh fuck, fucking." Oh,
yeah, so like
shit,
I think it was the past 2 to 3 seasons. Levis was like the most sacked quarterback in college.
What's his here? Hey, do you have his stats up right now? What is his negative yards over what was he there 3 years?
He was at Kentucky for 2 and Penn State for 2.
So just what's his overall negative yards for 3 years? Or did he say Penn 2 years too, or 1?
Well, no,
yeah,
he
played
college football for 4 years.
Yes, okay, just look up 4 years. What was his negative yard?
That's another thing too. If you weren't successful in Penn State and you had to go to Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, well,
look, and there's nothing wrong with saying that, hey, that they can't be good later. Like, there's nothing wrong with sitting and saying that Richardson's not going to be good. Like, listen, I'm not going to say he isn't. Oh, I'll say he isn't, but let's just say that I'm saying that he's not, right? That what I'm trying to say is that it's not a smart move for us. That's all. It's not. about personal to him. It's not about, oh, is he greater? He's not. That's too big of a what if. Like that's just way too big of a fucking what if, dude. Like, are we going back down the same road? Like, right? That'd be like a fucking crackhead comes in your house, dude, fucking tells you like, or your friend, just a crackhead that's a crackhead, like, yeah, man, I'm a change. I don't want to do that shit no more, dude. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to fucking do those drugs, fucking this, that, the other. And the second the motherfucker walks outside, he does the exact same fucking thing again. Give him some of that shit. You want to sell it? Or say a guy walks up to him the second you walk out of the house and like, while buying some crack, he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, when you're doing that shit, that's all you're doing. You're never fixing anything. So people said here hella times, how many times have we made a pick where the next pick was a great player, like great player, not just a fucking not good, like Hall of Famer on our list? You have a chance to go and pick dudes that have no baggage, no backgrounds, no nothing. And we're over here talking about a motherfucker with 17 and fucking, what was his fucking total yards? Like, how about that? What is it? Was it 2,000 yards? Like, fuck is this guy's total yards?
His rushing yards, I think, was like 700.
And then what's his passing?
Maybe I think
fucking
if I can
700.
on the top of my head, maybe
This
like
guy's an elite rusher. He got 700 yards. I mean, what did fucking Josh have? Josh Allen 800. Josh Allen had 800 fucking yards. And we're talking about this dude being an elite rusher in college. That can't be right, man.
No, not Richardson. This is Levis. Levis was the one. Levis had 742 career rush yards.
Career.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what's his passing?
5,876.
All right, now let's go over here to Richardson real quick. Let's look at him real fast. What's Richardson's career rushing and passing? Oh, hold on. So what was Levis's touchdown? Career.
46 touchdowns, 25 interceptions. And that's, here's the other thing.
45, 26 in 4 years.
He didn't really play at all at Penn State. I think that's why he transferred. The bulk of his stats came from the 2 years at Kentucky.
All right. So, but still, what is it again? 5,000 yards.
Yeah. He had 5,876 total passing yards and 5,232 of them.
Weak. That's hella weak even for college, bro. All right. Either way. So it is. I mean, he can be. It's okay. I'm not gonna bag, but I still think it's weak. What is Let's go to look at Anthony Richardson. What's his?
Anthony's career rushing yard is over 1,100.
Okay, so he's what, only 400 yards. He's only 400 yards over. How many years though?
3 years.
So 3 years, he's one less. But he said his most bowl came in Kentucky. So still okay. What's his passing? They're about equal in rushing. I mean,
in 3 years, he's had a little over 3,100.
Even worse, like fucking garbage. What's the touchdown interception? That's so bad, dude.
I don't want to tell you.
Tell me,
24 passing touchdowns in 3 years. 15 interceptions.
Yeah, just jump off a cliff. Okay, now let's look at this. Here's where the real kick in your fucking mouth's going to be, right? Let's go over here and look at C.J. Stroud real quick. What's C.J. Stroud's stats?
All right, hold on. Let me get that up.
We got one more to look up, too. So look up C.J. Stroud.
All right, I got it. So C.J. Stroud in rushing produced over 130 yards.
130. What's his passing?
Over 8,100.
Oh, fuck. He's 3,100 yards over. And then what's his, how many years?
2.
Fuck, you got 8,000 yards in 2 years?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, not even a fucking conversation. Now, here's going to be the real fucking kicker I'm willing to bet. I bet this is going to be a suck in the mouth. What's his touchdown interception ratio? What's his touchdown to interception?
85 touchdowns, 12 interceptions.
What the fuck? And we're over here talking about Richardson and motherfucking Levis. Like, what in the fuck? That is like, this dude is like up on the fucking mountain. Like, he's on the fucking mountain. These motherfuckers are on shore. Like, that's where they're fucking at. Like, this fool got 8,100 yards, fucking 85 fucking passing touchdowns, and what did he say, 12 interceptions?
Yeah.
Fucking 2 years. In 2 fucking years. I mean, I don't give a fuck about his 1,100 fucking rushing yards. The bitch got he ain't going nowhere, motherfucker. Like, Richardson shouldn't even be a conversation. Now, here's another one. Look up Bryce Young real quick. Look up Bryce. Let's see what this fucking guy is. I don't even know what his is, so I just want to. I mean, if people can't sit there and understand that there's a massive offset from Bryce and fucking CJ, then you don't know fucking football. It's massive. It's not even close, bro. One got 25 career, and the other guy got, what did he have? What did Levis have again?
I forgot.
Fuck, it wasn't much, dude. It couldn't have been much more anyways, but it's massive. Motherfucker got 85 and 12 in 2 years at fucking 8,000 fucking yards. This motherfucker had 5,000. Levis had 5,000. Like, it's not even close. Not even close, man.
So
The touchdown to interception ratio, it's pathetic, dude. Make you want to throw up how nasty fucking. Oh man. Let's hear this guy's, man.
So
He's
for
got to
Bryce
be pretty
Young,
good too.
3 years rushing, he's had 100 and over 160 yards.
His passing.
All right, so passing, he's also had over 8,100 yards.
What's his touchdown interception?
80 touchdowns, 12 interceptions.
This is my point, dude. Like, it's not even a fucking conversation, bro. Like, it's not even a conversation. Like, for people to sit and think that, oh, they're going to take Richardson or this and that, what the fuck? Like, you're picking fucking Carr. Listen. Here's even now. Go look up Carr's stats real quick, man. Like,
College stats?
Yeah, look up Carr's college stats real quick.
Let me see if I can find that. You know where to find that.
Just put in Derek Carr college stats. It should pop up right away. Should have a deal. I can't remember what that thing's called. I wish I remember that name of that site.
I have it.
You got
So So in rushing, 4 years at Fresno State, Carr had over 190 rushing yards.
So he was better than Bryce and CJ, but he had one more year in. So I want to say he was just as average as them. He was just as good, just as good in rushing. What's his passing?
Over 12,800.
What's his touchdown to interceptions?
113 touchdowns, 24 interceptions.
I mean, let's be fucking real. Like, even Carr in college dominated disgustingly good. And we're over here comparing Stroud and Bryce, like, even to be great. And we're throwing Levis and Levis and Richardson into the conversation. This has to be. This is the dumbest. This has to be the dumbest evaluation I've ever heard in my life. Like that, dude. They shouldn't even have Richardson or Levis projected to us in any fucking conversation ever. Like ever. And that's horrible. Like that's horrible, man. Like I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Like that's so bad.
I mean,
Like it's so bad. It's so bad,
when people
dude.
were talking about Richardson and Levis, I hated it, but I knew that they were going to be projected as first round only because of their athletic capabilities more than their stats.
Let's go look up another guy. Let's go look up fucking Hendon Hooker. What's his stat?
Oh yeah, Hendon Hooker. All right, I got it. So Hendon Hooker had 5 years. So in 5 years for rushing, Hendon Hooker had over 21 to 2,200 rushing yards.
Pretty damn good. I mean, he smoked fucking. He smokes both of them by a mile. Even if he took 2 years away, he smokes them by a mile. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you were even take years away, he smokes fucking Richardson and fucking. All right, so and fucking Levis. But let's go. What's his passing?
So in 4 years, because in his first year he didn't pass. So in 4 years he had close to 9,000 passing yards.
Pretty good. What's his touchdown interceptions?
Around 80 touchdowns and interceptions, 12 interceptions.
See, this is my point, man. This is my point. So here's one more player. Go to Jake for Fresno.
All right. All right, got him up.
What's his?
So for rushing, he's like negative. It's like negative, over a negative 100 rushing yards. In passing, he's 6, 8, close to 9,000 passing yards.
How many years?
4.
Pretty good.
And then touchdown to interception ratio, 68 touchdowns and 18 interceptions.
See, even him, and I'm not even saying he's good, but my point is he's better than fucking Richardson. So where the fuck did the valuation on Richardson even come from? Like that's what I'm not understanding. Like you can go and say like, oh, he's a physical athlete and he has these physical traits that no other player did. Why didn't he show up in college? I mean, if this fucking guy was such a physical athlete and had all these tangibles, why didn't it show up in college? How come Jake from Fresno smokes this dude by a mile? Like I just showed you, Hendon Hooker is in the same bracket as fucking Stroud and Bryce. And we're over here talking about I would take fucking Richardson over fucking Hooker. Well, you'd be a stupid ass GM. Like that's what you'd be. You'd just be dumb because all you're taking at the end of the day is what you're thinking by a combine fucking stat. a combine fucking deal. He didn't do shit in college. He didn't produce in fucking college, and that's facts. Because I don't care. Listen, but you can sit and say by you visualizing him, like you looking at him, saying that he looks good and he has this and he has that. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. You can look and say that, but you look at this motherfucking shit, when you go look at this shit that says his stats, it does not say the same. It says that he's fucking garbage. That's what it fucking says. He's fucking garbage. So that's all I'm saying is like you can't fucking do that. Like that's why. Yeah, I don't fuck this sometimes, man. Whatever, fucking. I just think like stats is what matters. Stats at the end of the day matter. That shit matters. His stats is garbage. Like his stats are fucking garbage, dude. They don't produce. When you look up in the NFL and you compare, dude, or you look in college, you compare by stats. That's how you compare. When a fucking guy goes to college and you got dudes over here putting up 50 and 40 touchdowns a year, and then you got this other motherfucker that's putting up 20. He's not even putting up 20, dude. He put up 17. Like, and then we're like, yeah, bro, he can go like third overall. You're fucking stupid. You lose your fucking job. Like, you lose your fucking job. Like, you fucking picked the Texans picked him. Man, D'Amico might as well just pack his fucking bags up, dude, because no. Like they said, if Seahawks want to grab him, sit him on the bench for the next few years, great. They got good defense. I mean, fucking all honesty, they even got 2 picks. I don't think it hurts them. I mean, don't they have the Broncos pick yeah, they have the Broncos pick. So
yeah, they have the 5th pick and I think it's the 18th pick or the 6th or the 20th pick.
Yeah, for them to do it, man, it wouldn't fucking matter. But that's my point. It gotta be some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't fucking go to a team like us. Like I've said, like I said here in the show earlier, you get Richardson and Jimmy goes down, we're fucked either way. Like, we're fucked either way. And then this is where you really fuck your player.
Like I said earlier, out of all of the college QBs, I think in the SEC specifically, Richardson is ranked last in accuracy when it comes to short and intermediate passes.
And that's my point.
Josh's system relies on that.
And they're over here talking this dude up. Hooker's 24 years old. This fool got fucking 2,200 rushing yards. Like, he smoked them. You know what I mean? Like, he smoked them. And then not only that, like, he's got the passing yards to back it up with the touchdowns and interceptions. I mean, all I'm saying is like, we're looking at a player that other players are just way better. And we're over here fucking looking at him. So I don't know if that's even smart. I just think, I think at the end of the day, we look at the wrong players, like, straight up. Because I've said I would rather, if we were picking at 7 and I had to pick Hooker or him, like Hooker or fucking Richardson. Fuck, I'm picking Hooker every time. 9 out of 10 times, I'm picking Hooker. 10 for 10. I'm picking Hooker every single time, man. So, I don't know. I just think frickin', if we were smart, dude, I'm telling you, I think what we should do is take fucking Christian Gonzalez, and then if you feel like someone's going to trade, or like say someone's going to get Hooker, I would trade back into the second round, in the late second round, because we have the draft capital to do it, dude. Like, with our 5s and 3s, like, we can fucking get back in, and we don't got to give up a 3. Like, I don't think we're going to. And if we did, we'd probably get their 3 anyway, so it'd be pointless 3 trade. But still, even if we used it to get there, I think it would be worth it, because if we traded back into the second or back into the first, and say that we had to give up our second and then our third, but we got back our third, just their third, and we were able to get back in there, I would fucking do it in a heartbeat. And if we got Hooker in the first like that, I think that'd be a great way to start the deal, because I think Hooker's the sleeper, dude. It's not Richardson, it's Hooker, dude. Like, mark it right here on DSR. Mark that shit. I'm telling you, dude. Like, it is not fucking Richardson. It's Hooker,
So
100%.
would you think like the perfect, like say the first 2 rounds, like the perfect draft scenario would be get Gonzalez at 7. Will and Richardson are going to get picked before Hooker because of like, I don't know. And then you get Hooker in the second round.
I think Hooker can become danger player. That's why I keep saying, like, if our second pick is, like, let's just say our first 2 picks, no matter how we get it, is either Christian Gonzalez and Hooker or Tyree Wilson and Hooker, I think that's a fucking 100% win. 100%. I wanted Darnell Washington in there at 2, but the more and more I keep thinking, because I was like, well, we got 2 third picks, dude. We can get Hooker in the third. But nah, because like I just showed you right now, stat wise, Hooker is not as, like, people
I'm
aren't
telling
like,
you, man,
listen,
it's destiny.
like, yeah, like fucking, like, other GMs that get paid to evaluate players. If I'm sitting here talking about it on this show, there's fucking GMs thinking about it 100%, 1,000%. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm talking about it here, there's no way in hell that there's not a GM that's in the business right now thinking the same thing I'm talking about, because that's what he gets paid to do. I don't get paid to do it, and I'm thinking about it. So if you're sitting here telling me that you got to remember, we have the 7th pick in the second round. So to trade back up into, like, just like I said, listen, Hooker's gonna be like a fucking Lamar Jackson type deal, where someone trades out of the second back into the first to grab him at the end, because I don't think Hooker's gonna make it too far, like, in my opinion. And then just look at it like this with the Raiders. Um, the Bears have the first overall pick, so they'll be the first pick in the second round. So we may have a good chance to trade up there. But if we go to the second round for Hooker, right? That means all these other teams got a chance to trade up to in front of us too, to the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth pick in the second round. So I think where you just eliminate all that is say, fuck it, it might cost me one extra draft pick in this pick or in this draft, but fuck, I got 12. I'm willing to risk one to get back into the first round to get Hooker, so I don't have
what
to
you could
fucking give up a lot here.
What you could do is you now have an extra third. You could just be like, "Hey, I'll give you one of my thirds for your second."
That's what I'm saying. Like, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, over here with, yeah, but man, that's what I don't want to do. You know what I mean? Like, if you're just giving up a third, that's a big piece though, because that's a fucking top 100 pick. So you don't want to do that. Like, you don't want to do that. Like, what you would want to do is like, that's what I'm saying. If you're trading with the 31 or 32, so let's just say that Hooker's on the board, right? At 32, right? Let's just say at 32, Hooker's on the board. For us to go from the 7th pick in the second round to the 32nd pick in the first round ain't going to cost us much at all. Like, that's not going to be shit. You might as well be trading in the second round, technically. I mean, fucking picking, it's at the end. It's no better in the second, in my opinion. So for me, salute Robert. Appreciate you showing up, bro. For me, I would make the trade back to the first round, because the other teams, like, so let's say this. There's other teams that would risk more draft capital trying to trade up in the second round, because it's not going to be as high of draft capital. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, they're not going to have to put up as much high draft capital, where if we go back to the first round other teams ain't gonna want to do that. You know what I mean? Like other teams are gonna be like, nah, man, it's gonna cost us a little bit more. We have the cap to do it, dude. To go to the 32nd pick and get Hooker in the first round, it would make 100%. I would do it because in the second round, you're just battling. Then there's too many possibilities at that point, dude. Like, and again, I think Hooker's a really good player, dude. I think people are sleeping on him. And if we're talking about like a future quarterback, right? If we're just saying like a future quarterback that has a good chance of winning, that has a high ceiling, there is not a better sleeper than Hendon Hooker in this draft by a mile. Like Sheldon Anthony Richardson's not even close. So like I said, man, it's Hooker or fucking fuck it. Don't even get a quarterback, in my opinion.
If we draft Hooker in this draft, I'm gonna believe this draft was just a little bit rigged for Destiny to pursue. To have Jimmy G as the starter.
That's Sergio, Robert. His name is Sergio, bro. No, sorry. What were we saying? He was just saying salute, man. He just didn't know your name.
Yeah, salute. Yeah, I was just saying if we draft Hooker, I'm going to believe that the system was rigged a little bit because that's just perfect if Jimmy's the starter and Hooker's his backup in Las Vegas. It's so perfect.
I just think if you go with Tyree Wilson or frickin' Christian Gonzalez, because I like either one, and I think both of them serve a huge need for us either way. But I still would prefer, personally, Christian Gonzalez. I think he's by far the best corner in this draft. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I think that dude, play style, everything, he's phenomenal. He's gonna be. I think he's gonna be great in the NFL.
I'm actually gonna be disappointed if this team
but I would take. Yeah, I mean, I would take either of those two. Like, don't get me wrong. If fucking Murphy was there, there was a few players I'd draft if they were there. But I'm just saying, like, the odds, the reality is Tyree and Christian Gonzalez would probably be there. And the odds are Christian would probably come off the board before Tyree because Murphy would end up in Detroit before Tyree. So that's why I'm just saying it's probably one of those two. But at the same time, like I say, both of those dudes are both of them are franchise players going to be in the future. So, yeah, fuck, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, the quarterback, that's why I'm saying I would pick one of those dudes and then Hooker in the second round or trade back into the first and get Hooker because when you're sitting here looking at it, like, right, you guys said it in the beginning of the show when you guys were talking about Richardson. Like, they're like, if Jimmy gets hurt, like, what do you guys just do? Do you just negligate all fucking scouting reports, all things that everybody talked about and said? Richardson is not NFL ready quarterback. Richardson needs a year to 2 years to develop his accuracy, his consistency, the pressure in the backfield, identifying on the deal. Like, did people just fucking throw that in the garbage? Like, did they just crumble that piece of paper up and chuck that bitch in the garbage? Because, like I said, the motherfucker ain't done shit. He got fucking 10, 25 touchdowns and fucking what did you say, 17 or fucking 20 interceptions? Like, again, it's not even a comparable quarterback when you're talking about Hooker, Bryce, and Stroud when they're at 80 and 12. You know what I mean? Like, and they're all 80 and 12. This dude's 25 and fucking 20. And we're like, yeah, well, let's get him. Yeah, let's draft him at 7. You're fucking, what the fuck? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, so for me, with Hooker being injured, and odds are, like, I think people are going to hop on this Anthony Richardson train because they're just stupid. So somebody is going to draft that motherfucker. And I'm just hoping that Hooker makes it to the second or at least to the end of the first. Like
He probably will. He probably will. I don't think he's gonna stay. I don't think he's gonna be in the first round. I do think he'll be in the second, and it'll probably be that scenario, like you said, that we might have to like trade up a little bit for him.
yeah, because I think you'll get into wildfire shootout when you once the first round ends and the second begins, the draft cap drops instantly. You know what I mean? Like getting into the first round still has value. You know why? It may be the 32nd pick, but it's still the first fucking round. You know, that's how they look at that shit. And that's how I would be looking at it too, because all I'm saying is like you don't get in a fucking battle when another team is sitting there that does not have 12 picks like us and it's entertaining giving up picks to trade back to the first round. Like, they'll probably not do it. They'll probably be like, nah, it's going to cost our franchise too much and we'd rather have the pick. You know what I mean? Like, that's how that shit comes down. Like, where we are, we're like, fuck, I'll give you the pick because I got fucking 11 more, so what the hell does it matter? You know what I mean? So, I just think it becomes I would do it because if you get into the second round, now what cost us only maybe like one or two picks? Fuck, what if you get in the second round and dudes are like, I'll give you fucking three threes or and I'm just saying, or let's just say like three fours or you know what I mean? Like just say that dudes are trying to offer up way more picks now. So that's all I'm saying. I would try to trade back to the first so I avoid that problem.
The problem is if we try to do like that 30-second trade, it's gonna be impossible because that 30-second pick is the Chiefs.
Well, 31. My bad. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
No, wasn't that? Nah, dude, there isn't a 30-second because it was taken away from the Dolphins, wasn't it? So there's only
Well, yeah,
31.
but the Chiefs would be like the
Okay,
last pick.
so let's just say either way, we trade up to 29. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what is it, 32? So it'd be 31. There's only
It'd be
31
like
right now.
30.
So let's say 30. Let's say we trade to 30. You know what I mean? And it's not heard of to trade with a player within the division. There's been numerous teams that's traded, including us, that's traded within the division
I
with
know.
another.
It would just be a lot more difficult.
You're 100% right, and probably cost us more for sure too. But I just think freaking like I said, then 30. You know, either way, we trade back up there. 30 would be it, but that'd even make it more for another team to. They ain't gonna want to trade to 30 or 29 because they would think going to 31, but we're gonna be ahead of them anyway, so it's pointless trade. Like I said, I think Hooker is gonna be worth trading back up to get. Like there are players like that, you know. Like look what they did for Lamar. Why wouldn't you do it for Hooker? I don't get it. Like just because he had an ACL tear, I think wasn't an ACL tear is what happened to him.
Yeah,
Like
he
it
tore his
didn't end his
ACL.
career, didn't end his career. You know what I mean? So fuck. What
Yeah,
what
and
are
I think
what are Jameer?
when people complain,
Jameer had two before ever even got to college.
like when people complain about, because the only two like complaints are like the ACL tear and the age. If we already have Jimmy for at least 2 seasons, and the problem is that we don't trust Chase Garbers to be the quarterback too, what's the problem if we have Hooker? Because Hooker is experienced enough to play in a system that's similar to McDaniel's and also experienced enough
And
to
he
be
can
the
probably
quarterback.
play right now. Fucking Richardson can't. If Richardson got put out on the field right now, he's gonna get beat the fuck up, dude. Like his running style gonna get demolished, bro. Like his running game is gonna get demolished.
Especially if
And,
he
and like
can't throw. He can't.
and
Like,
and if
this
you're
is
not,
someone that you can say he can't throw.
the difference is when he came in. So when he came in, they already were built. They built a line for Lamar, like you know what I mean, like running style, like out, like they ain't gotta have that here, like. He gonna get it out past Colton faster than Colton can get off the line. Like he gonna get out past fucking fucking Illuminor, Munford. I don't give a fuck who. He gonna get past them faster than shit. So
Plus,
like I
it's
said, man, I just
Dustin, like how you complain if you get Richardson, what's the point of Adams? What's the point of
yeah,
Jacobs? What's the point of
that
Jacobs?
that. I mean, I just think what's the fact of Adams too? That's crucial, man, because Adams your main fucking receiver.
And
Like
Adams
you
is not
can't
gonna
not
want
do
to
that.
have the
And it
ball.
took Lamar. What's Lamar in year 4? Is Lamar in year 4 going year 5?
I think he's in year 5. Yeah, he's going into year 5.
So then it took Lamar 5 years to finally throw an accurate ball. Like fucking, what, you want to wait 5 years for Richardson to hope he does? Like I'm not trying to go down that path, dude. The
And
Hooker
even
can throw
then,
an accurate
people
ball right
saying
now.
that like people saying he's the next Cam Newton. Even Cam Newton threw a bunch of interceptions.
You don't want to be the next Cam Newton. How old is he?
Cam Newton?
Yeah.
I think he's like, man, probably in his
34, 32.
30, yeah, in his close to his mid 30s
Nah,
now.
he's got to be a little. Yeah, he's got to be a little older. But he's probably 34, so 36. He's not even in the NFL. Bye bye, Cam. So like, fuck that shit. He ain't even been irrelevant for the last fucking 2 years, dude.
And
So
even then, if he was the next
I'm good
Cam,
on it.
Richardson's body's gonna deteriorate.
He's not, dude. If you read one article, he's Cam Newton. The next article, he's fucking Steve Young. You know, the next article, he's fucking Donald Driver. Like they act like this guy's got fucking every deal. That's not how it works. It doesn't work like that. Like when you're looking at a stat, when somebody's measuring, and you're comparing to all these other people because of a stat, that's great. That's just all it is a category that they do a measurement by. He didn't show up in college. Like that's a major fucking stat. So
Plus,
you're gonna take a hand stat. You take a hand stat in the combine that labeled him to fucking. And I'm just gonna say this name. Well, I don't want to say his name because it's a pretty good name. Let's just say that you measure his hand and it measured to Waller, right? And then you do his fucking height, and then you're like, oh, he's like fucking Shannon Sharp or something. I mean, I don't fucking know. And then you're looking at, oh, look at his speed. He's as fast as fucking, fuck, I don't know. I don't know. He's fast as a good receiver. My point is just because he has all those tangibles does not mean that he's going to be great in the NFL. He just played college. Like, I don't understand what people don't understand about it.
Season. He's only had one full season as a quarterback in college.
Yeah, one full season. Exactly. Maybe go back to college and play some more. Like, go get a few more seasons underneath you, dude. And if your one season is 19 and or yeah, what was it, 17 touchdowns and 9 interceptions? You probably need to go back and play some more. Like
he's still
fuck
20.
That.
He's in he's still 20. He can probably do.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with going back and getting better. He's just not fucking. He's not for us, and he shouldn't even be a consider. We shouldn't even consider him, dude. Like we shouldn't talk about him because in college he still didn't show up in college. He didn't show up in college. I don't give a fuck, dude. He did. Motherfuckers over there in one year, motherfucker put up like 4,000 fucking yards and 40 fucking touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Like that's in one fucking year. Like that's massive. That's not motherfucking. We're over here like, yep, this guy over here was 17. Like, no, fuck no. Nope. I'm not on meth, bro. Like, I'm not on meth. No way.
Yeah, I think with Richardson, no hate on Richardson or questioning what he's doing, but I think you're really messing yourself up if you only have one full year of college.
Yeah, I just think it's fucking way too low of a sample size, and then for the Raiders to even consider it, it'd be an F grade for us by a mile. It'd be a fail. It'd be a fail
Not even for like
instantly.
a sample size for
You would
teams.
have to fire. So then, listen. I like Ziegler. I think this dude's a soldier. I would have to petition for to fire this motherfucker if he did that. Like
No,
straight
if
up, I've
Ziegler
stuck up
drafted
for him.
Richardson,
I've been, yeah,
I would
I'd
jump on the
say
boat, but
they gotta fire him. There's too many fucking. There's way. Listen, Chase Garbers has got a better chance at starting over fucking Richardson, dude. He's
at least
way
he can
more
throw.
familiar with the system. It's not even. It's just the familiarity and the accuracy with throwing the fucking ball to your
That's why
receiver
I
that
said at
you
least he
just
could
paid the
throw.
motherfucker $40 million. Like that motherfucker better throw the ball to the quarterback, or the quarterback better be throwing the ball to the receiver every time when you're paying him fucking 30 and $40 million a year. Like you better throw that ball to him. Like let's be real, Hooker is gonna dot him. Fucking Richardson gonna overthrow him or spike the ball on the ground on the 10-yard line. You're gonna think like, why did he spike the ball right there? And it's not because the bitch he's garbage in short accuracy, dude. Like he throws at the player's feet, dude. Like I don't know what this guy does. I don't know if he can't throw soft, dude, or throw right, but this motherfucker, he's horrible, man.
I just think he's just when it comes to like actual passing plays, I think he's just
Johnny
I don't
Manziel
think he knows routes because when it comes to the deep passes, he's actually top 10 or like a top like he's above average when it comes to deep throws. But short and intermediate passes, he's dead last. I think he doesn't know routes.
Josh's system don't throw deep every time, so it's a waste. Tell him to go to Sean Payton. Tell him to get rid of Russell Wilson and get fucking Richardson. Like, there you go. That'd probably be your best bet. Like, maybe that's where he ends up. Who knows? Because like he's not gonna be good in ours. Like Josh is not deep routes. Josh is fucking short, mediate routes. So that's why I just keep saying like Richardson don't make no sense to Josh's system, dude. Like no sense whatsoever. He's so trash. I've been saying it the whole time. He just reminded me of what people were saying about Malik Willis, dude. Like I said it the whole time. I'm like, man, I hate that fucking guy. Like I just hate him. These motherfucking Titans just got him last year, and they're fucking talking about trading up to the third spot. You think they're who do you think they're trading up there for? Quarterback? I got 100 on it.
They want another Malik Willis.
I got a fucking 100 on it right here, right now. It's for a quarterback. So that's all I'm just saying is sometimes the hype is way more than what people realize, dude. It's not fucking worth it. I think. And look, if Ziegler's in quarterback need, right? It's smart on him that if he goes out and pushes uh, Richardson and people start thinking about it and they look and they're like, you know what, man, he might be right. And when Ziegler's like, I just need this fool to get off a guy. We just need to get another pick off so we can get our guy. You know what I mean? Like, what if he's strategically planning like, if a team takes him, that still means this player is available 100%.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like,
he did technically interviewed all of the top 5 QBs: Hooker, Richardson, Levis, Stroud, Young. So he could be doing that, especially being the first GM to like hug and have a conversation with Richardson. He's probably trying to make a smokescreen of Richardson, like, "Hey, I'm interested in this guy."
That's facts. Facts, Richard. I mean, Bryce does scare me too, but I'd still take
as
him
much
over
as
any
Bryce
one of
has
them any
talent
day.
and skill. I keep thinking this dude's gonna die in the NFL. He's barely 200 pounds, and he's like he's smaller than Kyler Murray.
Damn, we're gonna have to get off here in 5 minutes. My woman messaged. I gotta get going home. Yeah, so we'll hop off in 5 minutes. But yeah, no, that's all I'm saying is like I don't want a Kyler Murray type quarterback. I don't want a fucking Lamar Jackson type quarterback. I always said Derek Carr is better than Lamar, in my opinion, as a pure quarterback. Lamar's a better athlete, but Derek Carr is a better pure quarterback, dude. There's not even an argument about it. He can pass better, accuracy better, way better arm. I mean, I think Carr is way better football player, um, quarterback than Lamar is, and I don't want to go out there and say like, oh, I want to get Richardson and then have that same shit. Like Hooker is the quarterback we need for this system, this type of player that's ready. If the Jimmy went down for whatever reason, Hooker would have the best chance at starting even over Chase Garbers. But you cannot say that about fucking. You cannot fucking say that about Anthony Richards. You cannot say that. So, like I said, it's a wasted fucking pick. It's a wasted pick by a mile because there's no guarantee this dude is anything. Like they said, you got to develop him. You got to teach him. You got to get his accuracy. All this shit. Like, nah, fuck that. You don't got to do that with Hooker. So again, no. I'm just way against it. Don't want it. Don't even want to entertain it. I mean, it's facts, fucking Richard. I mean, you say so many things in the chat. That's facts. I mean, you don't want to sit here and go looking for those types of quarterbacks. I mean, Murray's hurt, fucking sitting on there. Lamar's hurt all the fucking time. Like I always say, passing quarterbacks with my bad, I just seen this little dog run out in the road, almost got hit by a semi. Passing quarterbacks that have mobility are dangerous quarterbacks. Quarterbacks that have running mobility before passing, they become a liability of a quarterback because they run in and get into contact way more than anybody else, and more times than not, they're even being that way, they end up injured. And I mean, fuck, we got multiple quarterbacks even this year injured that have that play style. So I'm just gonna be like, I would take my chance in the pocket, man. For me, I mean, look at Stroud, look at Bryce. You said in 3 years, right? In 3 years with Browse and Stride both, right? And they only had what 150, 160. That's in 3 years, 160 rushing yards. Like they're just rushing to pick up first downs or a touchdown. Like they're not rushing for 40 fucking yards downfield or 100. You know what I mean?
I mean, hey, it's kind of like how you said like how Stroud is like Joe Burrow, and then with Joe Burrow is arguably like top 3 or top 2 best QB in the league, and that dude don't run much. He only runs when he needs a first down.
Facts, straight fucking facts, man. So that's all I'm saying is like I think when we're looking at our team, this is what I've been talking about a lot recently. Is like we need to do better. Like we need to do better not only as at content creating, but as Raiders and fans and as an organization. Like we need to do fucking better. We need to evaluate better. We need to look at shit better. We need to analyze better because when we're sitting here looking at a player, it's easy when dudes look up say names, right? It's easy for someone to hop on a player's name because just like I said the other night, you can manipulate people to believe it if enough people are talking about it. But we just brought up the stats. If you're looking at stats and I didn't have a name, or let's just say this, let's say that all the stats that we just went over tonight, right? All the stats. And what was it? It was Jake, Hooker, Bryce, Stroud, Richardson, and Levis, right? If I just took away the names and the pitcher and just put out those stat lines and you've seen them, would they be labeled blast instantly in your mind?
What would?
In your category, if you were category organizing them, like if you were putting them in positions just off the stats and the numbers.
Oh yeah, I would go with best
So
stat.
if I brought you the 7, no. Let's say that, what did we say? Seven players, right?
Yeah.
7 players. So right here, and that was a fucking. I don't need a pen because I'm not gonna write. So let's say here I got the 7 right across here, the 7 players that me and you just talked about. So let's say this is the Bryce, this is CJ, this is uh, Hooker, this is Jake, this is Richardson and Will Levis, right? So I have all these right here, right? And then let's just say I take away the face. And then let's say I take away the name. So all you see is the stat of passing, touching, touchdowns, and interceptions, right? And then let's say I take all these and mix them up. How would you put them back from first to last? How would you go first to last if I mixed all of them with no names and no faces? How would you do it?
I actually don't know.
I'm pretty sure I know. I know if I look right at the fucking deal and I seen player at 12,000 yards with fucking 80 touchdowns and fucking 12 interceptions, he'd probably be easily on the top fucking 1 or 2 or 3. And then the next player, if I'm looking at it, and it'd probably have to be 1 because he had 5 years. So then I would sit and say, well, no, because that could be tricky because, yeah, he'd probably be 1 because he had 12,000. So even at 3,000. So he'd probably be 1. Then you're looking at Stroud, where he's at, where was he? 8,000, and Bryce was at 9,000, right?
Yeah.
So Bryce would be 2, and then Stroud would be 3, because the way shit works in real life is the greater the number means that you're fucking first in that shit, and especially when it comes to touchdowns by a mile. The first 3 quarterbacks all have 80 and 12. All the quarterbacks have 80 and 12. So then you're telling me that you're going to take a guy that has 24 touchdowns in his career and fucking 18 interceptions, and he's going to be ranked above any one of those 3 dudes right there?
Oh wait, you asking me an actual question?
Yeah, like, would you rate him over those 3 players?
Huh?
Yeah, and that's my point. So at that deal is like that's all I'm trying to say is that they become irrelevant at that point, even without a face. Even without a face and a name behind them, they become irrelevant. And if that's the case, there's no difference. If I organize them players back on the board, the only difference between them is that instead of Malik Hooker being down here where I kind of have him around 3, he would actually be 1. But the only reason that he's 1 on the stat list here is because he has almost 2 years more than both of the players that are below him. A year or 2 more. You know what I mean? So on this paper, if I'm organizing it, the only difference in reality is instead of Hooker being at 1, he would probably be at 3. You know, out of Stroud and Bryce. And that's the only reason. The only reason I'd say that is just because Stroud and Bryce did it in 3 years, and then still put up numbers like uh, 8,000. I mean, fuck, CJ did it in 2 years. You know what I mean? So that's impressive as fuck, dude. He did it in 2 years, 85 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. That's fucking balling. So just like I'm saying, on here he would be first just because of stat. Like if I'm organizing by numbers, touchdown, he'd be first. Then it'd be Bryce. Then it would be CJ, and then so on down the list. And then on the reality is that I would have him at 3 instead of 1, and then have CJ and CJ at 1 and Bryce at 2. You know, that's how I would have it. But at the same time, when a face isn't here, he would be Richardson would be ranked in the fucking bottom, 100% fact. And that's all I'm trying to say is why in the fuck did all of a sudden this dude just start jump up to the fucking top? It doesn't work like that. He didn't get better in the off season. He didn't play no games. He didn't develop. He's still got inconsistency. I mean, here in the pro day, he smacked the top of the fucking ceiling. That's not good, dude. Like, that's not good. So you play in that building all the fucking time. Why did you hit the top of the fucking building? You know, so I always say things like, people are like, oh, he has a good arm. Hey, the fucking guy can throw 60 yards downfield. I'm pretty sure he can throw it straight up in the air, no problem. So, like, that's all I'm just saying is that you're comfortable in that building. It's your building, you know, so it's not the first fucking time you've ever played there. But that's why I just think things like those matter. That shit matters. So either way, we've talked about that for enough tonight, dude. I think everybody's free to think how they want again, too. I'm not here to tell people. I'm not here to tell people how to think about somebody. I'm just trying to say that when you're looking at the board, there's more valuable players on the board than a guy's fucking stats in a combine for his measurements. I mean, fucking, if this guy had every great player's measurements, why didn't he have every great player's fucking stat line in college? You know, like, that's all I'm trying to say is, why didn't he even just do okay in college, dude? Like, fuck, I mean, what was it, at least, like, look up fucking, like, let's do this. Look up fucking, look up Malik Willis's stats real quick in college. I don't even like this guy, okay? I just want to do a comparison real quick.
All right, let me see. Okay. Let me check. Okay. All right, I got it. So Malik Willis, Auburn for first 2 years, Liberty for third and fourth year. So for 4 years, Willis for rushing yards had over 2,100 rushing yards.
Do it.
And then passing, he had over 5,100 passing yards.
4 years, man. See, that's where the fall off hit. And then now let's hear the touchdown to interception.
So in passing, he had 48 passing touchdowns and 18 interceptions.
See, he still got better than Richardson, and he still sucks. You see what I'm saying, man? Like, fuck this. Fuck that shit. I don't want him. I ain't even entertain him. I don't even want to even talk about him. This guy is just bottom feeder, bro. Like, straight up. But either way, I think we should hop out of here, man. Fucking pointless conversation. But it's Friday, dude. Gotta get home. My woman, my kids, everything like that. Hopefully my kids are asleep. I ain't get spending my woman's booty. Yeah, fucking, but no, I'm not kidding. But at the same time, I'm trying to go get something to eat. I don't know if I should eat Subway or if I should eat Carl's Jr. I've been thinking about it for like 30 minutes now because I don't know which one. Which one would you eat at?
Man, that's a tough decision.
I know, that's what I've been thinking the whole damn time. Like double bacon and cheeseburger or healthy sandwich at Subway.
Yeah, but I would never take Subway at nighttime. I don't know.
Yeah, because of the food all day, huh? Because all the food's sitting out all day. Yeah. Shit like that. Yeah. I'm going to go to Carl's Jr. Good idea.
I think, I would go to Carl's Jr.
Yeah. And he was a third round pick. He said Willis was a third. Yeah, dude, and they talked him up as a first, bro. Like, they were talking that fool mad in the combine about him being a first round pick.
When he threw that 70-yard bomb.
Yeah. They talked that shit up because he threw those two. He threw two of them down the sidelines. But guess what problem he had? Guess what problem he had? You want to know what problem he had? He had the same damn problem that Richardson has at throwing the ball short. He overthrew short passes right over the top of them, 10 yards past them. Richardson did the same shit. So, like I say, I don't know about on that Richardson train too hardcore, but I know we ain't. I mean, I know Ziegler cannot be that dumb. There is just no fucking way he's sitting there thinking like, yeah, he's so phenomenal. Let's grab him at the 7th pick. Like, there's just no way. There's no way. When you're looking at dudes like Gonzalez and Tyree Wilson sitting there, there's just no way. Like, they trump him. They trump him. They're not on hope. They are. Like, they're not hoping. They are. Like, there's fact, So, either way, man, let's hop off of here. Appreciate everybody always stopping by, coming out here, supporting us, spending here for the last few hours. 3 hours tonight, man? Appreciate you all, dude. Richard, I appreciate you showing up, being diehard every single time. Robert, everybody that comes through here, everybody inside the chat. Appreciate you all, man, all the mods, everybody. So thank you very much. Outside of that, appreciate to the panel, you, Sergio, every single week, showing up week in, week out. I think you've only not even messed up a few shows just like me. So I appreciate everything you do, man, everything he is. He's hit his 500 mark, man, so he did hit his goal. Appreciate everybody going out there and helping him.
I got now exactly 1 week left till it's my full year making content.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. So, I mean, fucking great job, great accomplishment. Now, like you say, just go bigger, stronger, and faster, man. That's all there is to do. So now the next goal is what, 1,000 people?
The next goal is 1,000 before the season even starts.
There you go, man. That's a good goal to reach. So, hey, he thought it was going to take a little bit longer than where he was, dude. He hit 500, he hit his 500 like that, dude. So
in 1 month. I got over 100 in 1 month.
Hell yeah, appreciate everybody that went out and subbed to him and wants to help. But like I said, man, contribute, tell your friends, check him out. He puts out really good stats, man. I mean, this guy don't mess around. So he does his homework. He's very detailed in his shit, dude. He ain't no slouch like some of these other dudes out here that go out and get other shit and jock him. Like, this guy makes his own shit. So, like I say, he rolls with us because he does like we do our homework. So, appreciate it. And do you have anything you want to say before we bounce out of here? Or?
Nah, I'm just tired.
Yeah, I'm tired and hungry, man. Outside of that, man, we appreciate you, Raider Nation. We appreciate you all stopping by. Like I said, Jeff posted the Discord, Instagram, so on out there. I just encourage everybody to join the Discord. Like I said, we're going to be doing a draft party, man. Just go out there, hang out, talk in the VC, watch the game on the stream. We'll be streaming it in there, so nobody got to worry about, they got to stream or not. We got multiple people that'll be in there that can do it, so don't worry. Good quality, everything, so it's not bad quality. I just say it's just fun to get to know your people and just have fun, man. That's all it is. So check it out. Scroll up in the comments. You'll see it up there. Otherwise, go to the link tree. You'll see our deal inside there. Outside of that, I hope you guys have a safe weekend. Don't drink and drive. Like I say, sleep in your car, call an Uber, call your mom, call a friend. Outside of that, stay safe. See you later, Raider Nation. Hope you have a great weekend. See you on Monday, man.
Sounds of the silence that allows for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that I told when my back is to the world. Was smiling when I turned.
And they want a static with position. I'm automatic. Quarterback, I ain't talking shit.